Scott Tournament of Hearts. And one of those teams, Cathy Borst from Alberta and the Otwell Curling Club in Edmonton. Borst, who has the habit of jogging to the hack end whenever she has to throw, definitely has her team in the running. They are 7-2, and they've had reason to applaud her performance here at the Max Bell Center in Calgary. Cathy Borst, Snow White, has led a charmed life. Another great story here in Calgary. In this morning's round, Prince Edward Island, Rebecca Jean McPhee from Charlottetown. She's just 20. She's just out of junior curling. And is she ever cool? You have to be cool when you're playing the two-time defending Canadian and world champion Sandra Peterson. Very cool when you draw the 4-foot with your last stone for the upset win. 7-5, Prince Edward Island, Rebecca Jean McPhee. So it's Manitoba all alone in first place at 8-1, followed by Ontario and Alberta at 7-2. Prince Edward Island, what a great story. Team Canada Peterson suffer their third loss. British Columbia at 4 losses, still alive. And those are your 6 teams in contention. Followed by Newfoundland, Saskatchewan, on through Nova Scotia, Virginia Jackson. She has one more chance to win here in Calgary. So in our 16th round, we will feature Alberta against Ontario. It is Borst against Goring. Both teams are 7-2.
The 1995 Scott Tournament of Hearts from Calgary, Alberta. Brought to you by Scott Paper. We care about the same things you do.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to TSN's continuing coverage of this 1995 Scott Tournament of Hearts as we are into the final 2 draws of this year's round-robin play. And oh, how important they are to the teams, the 6 teams that are still in contention for this year's Canadian Women's Curling Championship. In our featured game, it will be Ontario against Alberta. Alison Goring sitting at 7-2. Cathy Borst from Edmonton also 7-2. And we'll also keep our eye on the game between Manitoba and British Columbia. Marla Geiger, with 4 losses, cannot afford any more, because the feeling is to get yourself into any kind of tiebreaker and keep yourself alive to play for this trophy, 4 losses is all you can afford. There she is, our Linda Lou. Hello, Missy.
Well, Vic, I wore the Western wear just for Cathy. Wanted to make her feel a little bit more at home. But Cathy, you look very much at home in front of the hometown crowd, and that could be a lot of pressure.
Well, it could be, but I think we're feeling okay. I don't think we're feeling the pressure yet, and we'll see what happens after the first game and see how we feel.
It's the big day. It determines all the standings. You've got 2 big games. How do you feel?
We're feeling good. I think I'd like to play a little bit better myself tonight and make a few more key shots, and I think we'll be right in there.
One thing that's really impressed us is the stride down the ice, the little bit of a jog. Tell us about that.
I don't know. I guess it's just habit. I have my rubber on, so I like to make up a bit of time and get down there as fast as I can so I can sit in the hack and relax and think about my shot. And I don't know. I used to be a sprinter.
Oh, there you go. Well, wish you the best of luck.
Thanks a lot.
Howdy. Well, this is the real moose now. Alison, this is a big, big day for you.
Oh, yeah, we have 2 tough teams to play, but our destiny's in our own hands, so we have to play well.
That's for sure. A good feeling, I guess, coming back in that game last night. We're going to set the stage for today.
Yeah, we had a bad break. We gave up a big 4, and then they stole one on us, and I didn't throw the rock that bad, but it got away on me. But we felt good. We kept fighting, and one at a time.
You sure did. This afternoon, obviously, you'll focus just on the game this afternoon because that's a big one for you. You score a lot of points, but you give up a lot of points. That's because of your offensive mode?
Yeah, we like to play aggressively. We come around that first one all the time. But I think you have to get ahead. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
You're for sure. Good luck this afternoon. Good luck to this evening. Thanks, Allie.
All right, so where's my cowboy wear? Well, you see, my mama wouldn't let her son grow up to be a cowboy. But when we come back for round 16 coverage, my 2 partners and I will have Ontario against Alberta. It is Goring against Borst. It is the 1995 Scott Tournament of Hearts, and it's right here on TSN. we get ready for round 16. It's the 1995 Scott Tournament of Hearts final day of round robin play. Last two draws on the ice, which has been absolutely terrific, Ray.
Well, the ice has been tremendous the last couple of draws, especially this morning. It was fantastic. It's moving with both turns, and it's been, more importantly, Vic, it's been very, very consistent. Let's look at getting around this center rock, for example. If you get around that center guard, you'll be taking just outside the 4 foot in the first 3 or 4 ends, and it'll move about 2.5 to 3 feet, like so. As we move in the game, you're going to have to move the broom out a little bit, and it starts to swing as the ice gets a little bit softer, and now all of a sudden you have to go out to about 3.5. Going behind the corner guard is the same thing. You'd be taking about 2.5 to 3 feet to get behind that corner guard, like so. Now you got to be a little careful. It's the same on both sides. Doesn't change at all. Now, out here, there's been no frost buildup to speak of, but still, as you get closer to the boards, you can have a little bit of difference, and you have to be careful when you're playing the outside in hit, because they'll run very straight. Actually, anywhere, Vic, when you step the weight up, they'll come pretty straight. As far as the speed concerned, we're doing it from the hog line there to the tee line here. We start off at 22.5 or so, and it'll get as fast as 24 and maybe even a half. So it's great ice, great surface, two good teams. I look for a big afternoon.
Our featured game is on sheet A, one of the outside sheets here at the Max Bell Center. Mets meet the teams from Ontario, and it's the Bayview Country Club. Alison Goring on the left is the skip. Christine Mccrady is the third. Diane McLean is the second, and the lead is Mary Bowman. Representing Alberta from the Otwell Curling Club in Edmonton, the skip on the left is Cathy Borst. Maureen Brown. I'll tell you that it's Deanne Shields, and the lead is Kate Horn. Ontario will play Red Rocks here in this first end, and so they will have the hammer, last rock in the first. These are the other games on the ice. Manitoba against British Columbia. Big game for British Columbia as they come in at 6-4. Can't afford the loss. Must win for them. Newfoundland and Prince Edward Island. What a great story. PEI is 7-3. Newfoundland, Laura Phillips eliminated with 5 losses. And New Brunswick against the Yukon Northwest Territories. Heidi Hanlon 3-7. Don Moses of Whitehorse at 1-8. Of course, our featured game is Ontario, Alberta. And the buys in this 16th round belong to Team Canada. They're at 7-3. Saskatchewan 5-5. A crushing loss for Sherry Anderson this morning. Quebec 2-8, and Nova Scotia 0-10. And the first stone is from the Alberta lead, Kate Horn.
I think we're going to see two rather contrasting styles here today, Ray. You're going to see Alberta, and they like to play it a little more wide open to begin with, but I think Cathy Borst is thinking about her team a little bit. A more inexperienced team. She tends to keep it a little simpler for them, whereas Alison has a lot of confidence in her 3 players and is much more aggressive.
Yeah, I think actually both teams don't have a lot of experience at this level, that's for sure. Alison's team, I think, though, plays in an area that is much more conducive to offensive play. In other words, Alison's team plays throughout the season even that offensive style of game, which is so popular in Eastern Canada, especially in the Toronto area. And so they're much more used to that game. And I think you're right. I think Cathy will try and keep it a little bit up and down the sheet. She indicated that by putting the first stone in the rings. I expect Alison, though, to go to what she's best at, and that's to play offense and take some chances. Now, as I mentioned in the interview with her, she's had a lot of points Linda scored against her. I think she's had 3 or 4 ends scored against her, but she's also scored a lot of points. So.
Yep.
The Ontario lead is Mary Bowman.
She would very much like to, Alison Goring would very much like to win this game because it puts her in a good position, because you got Team Canada tonight, and that's the best team in the world at this stage of the game. And Sandra ran into a very, very hot Rebecca Jean this morning, and it was a good curling game. And you saw the big shot that this young skip made to win it. She was very deserving of the win, but Sandra Peterson and the girls from Regina are going to be very tough to beat.
They sure are. It's the day where you have to be focused on your game. I call it wearing the blinders, making sure you don't peek over to the other sheets. Just one shot at a time, trying to get through the game with a win, and then go on to your next one tonight. And that's going to where it all comes down to who's going to be in the playoffs.
Remember again, 4 teams make the playoffs this year in the new Page system. Diane McLean, the Ontario second, as we play in the first end of this 16th round game. Ontario does have last rock.
Right up, right up.
The other thing too is you mentioned the Page system, Vic. You got to remember now Alison Goring can keep herself in position to finish either first or second, and that's big because you get that extra chance, Linda.
That's right. The winner of the first and second place teams, when they play off, goes to the finals. They have that bye, so it is big for Alison. 2 very tough teams that she's playing, Alberta and Team Canada.
And the loser of that game, of course, plays the winner of 3 and 4, so that's the extra chance.
Okay, Dee. Okay. Not quite right up, I think.
Feeling a lot better, she says. She also feels a little bit better in the afternoon and tends to get worse at night. Alison Goring bothered by bad cold and stuffiness, sinuses. Diane works for IBM.
Nice weight, Di. Shot.
Yeah.
This is the Page system that Linda and Ray were talking about. 4 teams, first, second, third, fourth. First and second will play. First gets an automatic bye right to the final. Second gets another chance against the winner of third and fourth. And then the winner there goes on to meet in the final with the champion decided on Sunday afternoon here in Calgary. So as Ray suggests, it's a second chance for the teams that finish either first or second. The Ontario third is Christine Mccrady.
This whole team has been very composed, as have the Albertans all week long.
Clean.
Alberta got off to a great start.
Oh, just
you know, we talked about it this morning. I was talking about it this morning with a friend of mine, Larry Tucker, here in the city, who writes for the Sun here in the city, and he was saying the same thing, that, you know, sometimes you get in a roll, and as we know, Linda, you can just get it going, and that's what happened to them, you know, and the confidence built as they went through the week. So now you have to really focus today, and it's payday today.
That's right. The other thing we had mentioned, and she's talked about a bit, is the crowd. She likes the crowd here, and obviously it helps that she got off to that great start because the crowd is totally behind her.
That's right, and Alison, when we were chatting, said, you know, we're trying to keep the crowd out of this game if we can, Ray. You know, they're going to be in favor of Alberta for sure. We can only do that by getting a little jump.
There's a possible jump, a miss by Maureen Brown.
Sorry, guys. Tight, tight, tight.
Christine Mccrady, she and husband Jeff have a son, Ryan, 2, and they're expecting their second child this June.
Hard. Okay. Whoa, whoa. Nice weight.
Set up for Ontario to possibly get a deuce here in this first end.
You look for small things when you talk about teams, Linda.
Right over?
Just listen to Cathy first.
We went pretty big in practice here? I didn't see one. Ask one. I think D.
Funny, those.
One here in practice, right?
She used to be a sprinter. Maybe that's why.
Is that about where they
Because
have
curling
eggs?
has those starting blocks like the hack. Start.
Okay, we need a roll anyway, so try and roll it right over to the next one.
Looking for the roll.
Whoa, right off! Off!
and they run straight here.
Right off.
Just a little piece. It's going to roll too far.
Right out, come on.
That didn't curl at all.
Sure didn't, Cathy.
Oh.
I think you make a good point, Lenny, when you talk about crowd being on your side. We've been at different competitions where the home provincial team has gotten off to a bad start. Remember a few years ago in Saskatchewan, and we've seen it elsewhere. Boy, you want the crowd on your side because there's just that added pressure, of course.
Oh, absolutely. When they're cheering, there's nothing better. You're ready to throw your rock, and you know they're totally behind you.
You don't think, though, sometimes it can add a little pressure that maybe when you're away from your hometown that you wouldn't have to experience?
We had both opportunities. We played the World Championships in Sweden, and then we played the Olympics here, and I preferred the noise. There wasn't very many people watching in Sweden, and you really have to get yourself up, that's for sure. If the crowd's behind you, it just helps to give you that little boost.
Yeah, I certainly agree with the fact that the larger the crowd, the better the atmosphere for sure.
Right back to here. Good sweep.
Nice draw by Alison.
Thanks.
So I think Cathy's tightening the ice a little bit here, looking for the same type of roll.
I just think that sometimes maybe if you're in front of your hometown crowd, there's so much expectation, you know, that you can it can be a little added pressure to you, you know. And then it takes kind of a special team to be able to respond to that. Some teams it can affect, I think. Or I've seen it.
Final stone for Alberta and Cathy Borst here in this first end. Ontario, Alison Goring does have last rock.
Yep. Go hard. Three. Yep. Three. Right up. Three. Whoa.
That straightened right up, didn't it? Gee, they brushed it all the way.
They did. That's too bad for Cathy. It's going to give Alison a chance to draw for two.
The open draw.
See, mate.
I guess it does back up there. Yeah, because you had looked good. Looked good, yeah. You had normal on it.
Interesting. Alison tied with Cathy Borst in terms of their skip percentage, and here they are on the ice against each other in the 16th round, and Ontario has a chance to score two.
This clean, it looks like last guy.
Just playing the same path. This is not the biggest part of the house to draw to, but she just threw this draw, so it's nice to be able to repeat that shot.
Yeah, usually you'll take a little extra ice on that kind of a shot, but she just played down there, and she's a little afraid of the center. They start to slide sometimes.
So Ontario with last rock scores their two. Alison Goring, Alberta, both 7-2 coming into the 16th draw. '95 Scott Tournament of Hearts. Manitoba on top of the standings going into the 16th round, followed by Ontario and Alberta. Prince Edward Island and Team Canada, Sandra Peterson tied 7-3. And British Columbia still alive, but a must-win against Manitoba. BC is on the ice, and Connie Lalaberty with last rock in the first end. They blank again. Must win for Marla Geiger from Richmond, BC. Prince Edward Island against Newfoundland and PEI without last rock. Rebecca Jean McPhee coming off a very impressive 7-5 win over the two-time defending Canadian and world champion Sandra Peterson. And after the game, Ray had a chance to talk with Rebecca Jean McPhee.
Rebecca Jean, congratulations. A very big win.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That was a big shot, a cold draw to the forefoot. Can you just give us a little insight to your feeling before you got in the hack to throw it, how you felt about it?
I threw the same draw with the other turn the two ends before, and I just had to rethrow it. It looked good going down. The girls weren't touching it at all. They were just keeping it clean. And at the top of the house, I thought it was starting to die, and they just gave it a little dust. And
it was there
all watching it.
Yeah,
very
great
closely.
shot. You know, they look simple, but they're you have to get yourself together. Now, after a big game like this, you have to go back and kind of regroup for the next one?
Yeah, we have a big game against Newfoundland. 4 losses may put us out. We don't know, and it depends on what happens in the other games. I think a win will secure us in the tiebreaker.
Well, everybody has been very impressed by Rebecca Jean. She's very cool for 20. And everyone agrees, I think, as well, Linda, that she's getting a lot of help from the veteran skip, now playing third for her in Kim Dolan.
The two are working very well together. Kim, I was chatting with Kim before the game that they're playing now, and she said it's just so nice. She loves playing third. Rebecca Jean's coming through with all those pressure shots, so things working well for them.
I think, too, I'm really impressed with the way Kim has done it. Like she does interfere, or interfere is not the right word, but she does partake in the calling of the game and in some of the key situations. But she really, on the surface, she lets Rebecca Jean call her own game. And then it seems she has a very soft way of kind of suggesting, well, maybe, what do you think about this? How about that? And does it very softly. And it's really neat to watch.
Mary Bowman, the Ontario lead, her stone. Her second stone here in this second end. Slips to the back of the 12-foot. 2-0 Ontario leading as we play the second. Alberta with last rock. We'll just tell you that in the other game here in the 16th round, New Brunswick, Heidi Hanlon with last rock in the first, scored 2. And now it's the Yukon Northwest Territories with last rock. Don Moses from Whitehorse as they play the second.
Well, here's an indication that what you were talking about is that Cathy is going to play pretty clean and maybe wait for a miss. There's a rock that's behind the tee line, and you have last rock. You are down 2 points. You could maybe, if you didn't want to throw up the corner, you could maybe play down to it.
Yeah, I have talked to a lot of the curlers about the teams out here, for example, Alberta, and they all think Alberta plays probably the most cleanly of all the teams, that she likes to keep it very simple. It's interesting that Mary Bowman's rocks came deep, though. That's not going to happen all game, because remember last night, Ontario's huge comeback was because the lead for Ontario, Mary Bowman, got all those short rocks and made all those great come-arounds.
With the 2-point lead, you can see that Alison will make Cathy Borst make the play.
That's right.
She'll throw the rocks in the rings, hopefully keeping them in front of the tee line, but she'll throw them in the rings. When that one slipped behind the tee line, I would have been tempted to maybe try and use it, but her thinking is it's early and I don't have to panic. And
The Alberta second is Deanne Shields.
No, clean. Tell us to bring it down just a bit.
But this Ontario team has not shown any signs of cracking under the pressure this week, so you can't wait a long time. But
little more. It's clean. Yep. Whoa. Shot dive.
We're a little laughing.
well, I was saying to Alison earlier, there'll be hovered around the television sets at the Bayview Golf and Country Club, a club that I'm really familiar with. I spend a lot of time there in the summer when I go down for an invitational. Actually, I could probably win that invitational if I had a better partner.
Mr. Gravener, did you hear that?
That's right. Yeah. Well, Warren Crosby, the pro, told me if I could just get another partner, I'd win that every year. A wonderful club, wonderful family club. Pool and curling and golf. Great people.
That guy that's selling all that stuff, he's great. You never heard him? Oh, he's really funny.
The rock has made its way into the button area now with all these consecutive takeouts.
Yeah.
Now, Ray, look at the brushing here with Bowman and Diane. You were talking yesterday about the fact she brushes from behind the stone.
Yeah, she does. She brushes from behind the stone, and it's very difficult. What happens is you push the other brusher up so far that she's maybe not quite as effective as she could. If I was Diane, I would try and just to move my body around and try and get a little tighter to the rock so the other brush could tuck in a little better.
The other option with that is to try and get an angled brush and actually move the brush the other way across the stone. And that way your brush stays with the narrow part going sideways, and the other sweeper can get closer. So there's a couple of options. With these synthetic brushes, we don't see the angled heads, I don't think. I've never noticed that before, so.
But that could be done.
course, the reason we talk about the brushes getting very close to the rock, it's the polishing right in front of the stone that takes the rock a little further. Makes it go a little straighter by delaying the curl.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just clean. Shot.
I don't know if the stones keep doing this, will we finally have a guard to go around by the time
We're going to get very close.
Cathy Borst throws her last one?
It's good shooting to get the consecutive hits, but it's certainly interesting to see it move from the back 12 to the front 8 already.
Maureen Brown, the native of Nipawin, Saskatchewan. Learned to curl on a one-sheet natural ice rink just outside called Cherry Ridge.
Got it.
Oh, now that doesn't count. You see that one actually
Just normal.
Sort of
roll.
spoiled it,
Yeah,
didn't
it
it?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even.
Nice shot.
I didn't even really throw full normal, I don't think, eh?
No, but normal.
But it's gonna, yeah.
Just normal. Should.
mentioned earlier that when they went to the provincials, Linda, Alison's team, considering their relative inexperience at championship play, although you know all the members had been at provincials before, were not considered the favorites when they went to Brantford, Ontario. Teams like Ann Merklinger, Heather Houston were.
Yeah.
Marilyn Bodo was back again. But she put it all together and beat Heather Houston in the final 7-5.
Well, obviously Ontario, a very tough province to come out of. A lot of curlers. They play a lot of games to get through, and having to be there against Heather Houston and Marilyn Bodo, that kind of team, you know, this Ontario team has played very, very well, and obviously playing well still to be at the top of the standings here at the Scott Tournament of Hearts.
Playing the skip stones here in this second.
Getting people going pretty good. When you were shooting,
Yeah, I couldn't see what he was doing, huh?
the noise is loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
The house is wide open for this first stone.
It's a chance for Cathy to get her draw weight. Playing the two hits in the first end, it's nice to get a bit of the feel in the second end.
Plus minus. What's this mean?
Well, we sometimes do this. This is where you take the statistics of the two players in a game, and you look at how one player plays against their opponent. So it's lead versus lead in each game. In this case, Mary Bowman, across all of the draws so far, has been a +4. So you had to outcurl the opposing lead by 5% or more. Kate Horn was a -3. So you would expect, looking at these statistics, for example, that at lead position, Ontario has the advantage. It's a slightly different way of looking at the statistics. So lead third in this case, minus.
I mean, right away, a critical position is that third, where you have Maureen Brown against Christine Mccrady. Overall, Ontario is ranked #1 and in the plus minus at the +5. Is that correct, Linda? Am I right?
They're in #2 position.
Number two,
Team Canada is +6.
Okay.
Ontario is +5. Yeah, so they're playing very well, but it's a slightly different way of looking at it. We often look at statistics and say, what % are they curling? Well, sometimes numbers don't tell the whole tale, and I know Ray is a firm believer that you play better than the opposing lead, second, third, or skip, whatever it is, in the game that you're playing. And if you do that, no matter what the numbers are, you've really accomplished your job.
I like it because that's how I approach every game. It puts it onto a more individual basis. I know that, especially for a skip, it's hard to do because you've got so many other things to worry about, you know. But I psychologically put myself in a position thinking that there's no one at lead position that can outplay me. So obviously it happens in games where you do get outplayed, but you just hope it doesn't happen often.
Looking to roll the shooter out if they can. And so Alberta will be forced to take one. Here in this second end, Ontario will have the hammer back and leading 2-1 in Calgary. Ontario with the 2-1 lead over Alberta and Cathy Borst. Borst forced to take one in that second end. Now an update for you. Manitoba, British Columbia. Manitoba with last rock 8-1 against BC 6-4. Must win for Marla Geiger. Connie Lalaberty managed to blank the first end, gets the hit, but won't be able to roll the shooter in the second, and so Manitoba will pick up one, and BC Geiger will have last rock playing 3. They're calling it the unofficial Maritime Championship. The two best Maritime teams, Newfoundland 5-5 against PEI 7-3 after a blank in the first end. Final stone, Laura Phillips from St. John's. Boy, just hung straight. She flashed it. So it's a steal of 1 by PEI and Rebecca Jean McPhee to lead 1-0 as they go to the third. Newfoundland still with last rock. And New Brunswick with 2. And then a blank against the Yukon Northwest Territories. Don Moses from Whitehorse still has the hammer as they play the third end. As we come back to our featured game, Ontario against Alberta. That first stone from the Alberta lead, Kate Horn.
Here's fine, Mary.
Very nice shot by Kate. Cathy wanted that guard very tight to the rings. Again, a more open style play for the Alberta team. But it still gives Ontario a chance to come around it. Because it's in the free guard zone area, that guard cannot be totally removed from play. You could tap it, move it over, but because it's close to the rings, that's pretty dangerous. So they're going to try and come around the corner of it.
Right up. Right up, yep.
Great swing there. Look at that, coming right across center.
That's good.
Come around the intern side.
Tap this, that's fine. Okay.
Were you saying yesterday, Linda, you thought that, or may have been Ray, but the tendency seems to be on the outside sheets, where it's closer to the crowd, the swing is greater, a little straighter in the two center sheets?
Yes, there is more swing in the end sheets, but what's interesting, sometimes when the crowd is right next to you and it's warm, for example, the Chinook Day, I think that was Monday, the actual side that has the closest to the fans is actually a bit straighter because you'd get a bit of frost. But the warmth is what causes the ice to soften a bit, and that makes it swing a little bit more.
Kate Horn with a little rub on the guard to straighten it out, and they do really sit on top of you here at the Max Bell Center. Seats 2,100, and it is sold out. Afternoon draws haven't been quite as full. Obviously, people at work, but last night, my goodness, this place was rocking, and as Canada and Team Alberta, Peterson went up against Borst.
Well, by scoring the 2 in the first end, Alison Goring has taken the crowd a little bit out of this game, Linda. But they'll wait for a big shot from Cathy Borst, and you'll hear the roof come down in here.
That's right. A nice hit and roll here might do it. Those two guards out in front are overlapped. That means if they can get a hit and a roll behind them, you can't raise back the guard onto the stone in the house.
Deanne Shields, the Alberta second. Close. There's the hit. Look at the ray, Cathy Borst. Yeah, so the music student at the U of A, the piano player with a grand shot.
Yeah, got the flags flying. Diane looking for the peel on the front one.
And no hesitation here. You've got to get that front open now.
Absolutely.
Good eye.
She wanted to move the yellow as well.
Okay.
Had to hit it on the other side a little bit.
Another guard up. Just over the hog.
Our season of champions.
Not too tight.
Final round robin play here in Calgary. And it's Ontario with the lead as we play in the third.
To get it there, but it's a good position right on center line. Nice separation between the guards.
No!
Diane McLean.
No, no, no. Okay, Diane.
Floats a bit.
Shot.
It's a good shot.
I think we heard Christine Mccrady and Linda say floats a bit.
Well, we've talked about it. The extra weight, which you play on a peel, will really show up on this ice. It's very weight sensitive. You pull back the weight a little bit, you'll get nice movement. A little bit extra weight and it runs straight. Almost looks like it's floating out.
First of the thirds stones here in this third end. Ontario leading 2-1. This is Alberta's Maureen Brown.
I don't think they go back, Linda. They just run straight when you step it up.
Don't want to line them up.
Okay.
Ray, you want to leave these high, do you?
I think the angle's there now to catch the back one, the corner of the back one. Yeah, you want that to be a long guard.
But as it's coming, if they've been able to sweep it a bit, they might have tapped the two stones and not lined them up on the back one.
Chance for Christine Mccrady.
Chance to get that stone off the forefoot as well. Then.
Hurry! Right up!
There it is. They were lined up. Christine Mccrady does the job.
Guys can sweep that in?
Yeah.
Let's just peek right next door on sheet B. This is the game between Manitoba, British Columbia, BC, with Last Rock trailing 1-0. But it is Manitoba lying one with some backing, back of the 8-foot. And as Marla Geiger makes her way down for her final stone, can she just bump that Manitoba stone enough, hold her shooter to score 2?
Well, there's a good chance, Vic, if she just catches it on the outside a little, pushes it. She only has to push it a couple of feet past the back stone, and she pick up a deuce.
Remember how important this game is. Manitoba sits at 8-1 on top of the standings, but British Columbia, Geiger, and BC at 6-4 cannot afford another loss. And this is their final round-robin game. They will have the night off in the 17th and final draw. Marla Geiger. Kelly Owen.
Looks pretty good.
Third, calling it. Just punch it out the back. She does. So British Columbia and Marla Geiger will pick up their 2 in the third end in a game they must win as they play the former 2-time Canadian and a world champion in Connie Laliberty. And Laliberty will have Last Rock in the fourth.
Well, a good come around, Linda, by Alberta set up that situation, and Alison Goring had to go up and run off the front, but she played a great shot, and she forced the Redstone into the rings.
2 very nice shots in a row. It was interesting when the Ontario Rock was coming down, you could see Alison with all the noise from the BC shot in the arena. She was trying to shout, of course her voice being very faint because of her sore throat.
Well, because everybody's cheering for BC.
So she was having trouble communicating with the sweepers, but the shot worked out very well. They've got the hit and the roll in, and Alberta can't ignore that stone. So Cathy's going to try and hit it and roll back towards center.
This is the first of the skipped stones. Cathy Borst.
back one is still open.
Good.
Go way over.
Yeah, I think so.
Or even just to here.
Just there's not bad.
Yeah.
Because if she hits it, she won't be on.
Yeah.
Runs fairly straight, but I think closer to the center it might come up a bit.
Okay. That's nice normal. Though.
Yep.
Well, she's just playing the hit here. If she could just kind of hit it here and roll into this area right there, it'd be perfect.
Normal. I'll hit and roll. If we can.
And we've talked about the fact that it's a long week as it is, and it's an intense week. Boy, I tell you what, it's got to be doubly long if you're not feeling well, as a number of skips are. Sherry Anderson is another one, but as Alison Goring is feeling.
And it's very dry in this arena, and they're finding they're having to drink a lot of water anyways, and you feel a little bit dehydrated when you're not well. And it's a bit of a struggle, but they've all, the ones that are ill, are still playing pretty well.
Who knows this one? Let's do this. What if we just knows this one? Why?
Like this. Okay, go for the double. She gets her one. Then we have hammer.
Blanket. We sit right here.
I think hitting it on the nose is perfect. Just sit right there. It makes the Alison's shot a little more difficult. If you get into the rolling behind, then the double's pretty simple.
She's going to get the double and the blanket.
I'll just gotta make it.
If you just hit it and sit right here, like that. And if Alison hits this one next, who would be shot? What do you think, Linda?
I think actually either one isn't bad. If she got the complete roll so that the double wasn't possible, so that it would be very difficult to blanket as well as make the double, that's not a bad shot either. Puts the pressure back on Ontario. Regardless, she'll be sitting 2.
You roll right across the sheet, I guess.
Yeah.
Be a good roll. Rolling in behind the front shot, I don't think is a great shot.
Off! Clean! 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 Yep! Whoa! Yep! Whoa! You're way deep. Okay.
Good shot. Alison's going to need a little roll now, I think.
Yep. Same weight.
Yep.
She hits this on the nose, she won't be shot. She's got to hit this one here. She's got to roll a little bit this way.
Just a little inside roll.
If she just hits it on the nose or on the outside, goes this way, of course, this will count.
Final stone, third in, 2-1. Ontario leading, and Goring looking to up it to 3-1.
Clean! Yep! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Close! Oh, is that ever floating?
Whoa!
Whoa! Wait, here it comes. Come on. Come on.
Here it comes, the inside roll, though. They get enough of it. It's going to be really close. I don't think they did.
I think it's yellow. It's exactly what we drew on the, she had to get a little roll.
Yellow. Yeah. Yellow? Yeah.
It is yellow. So the mistake, no inside roll, and Alberta, as the crowd here at Maxwell Center responds, even now with Ontario after that steal of 1. It's 2-2 when we go to the 4th.
We changed the way you saw the world. Now we've made a world of changes. Introducing the new Ford Explorer. The only leading sport utility with standard dual airbags. The only one with Control Track, which provides 4-wheel drive traction automatically. Plus an engine that lets you go 160,000 kilometers before your first scheduled tune-up. The new Ford Explorer. Far and away the best the world has to offer.
Ford Hot Shots with Russ Howard.
Our curling team's faced with a situation here that would scare a lot of teams. We've got 3 rocks in the rings. They're close to the 4-foot area. But what we're looking for here is a rock in my situation only to about this area here. 2 good sweepers can hopefully drag this rock 6 to 8 feet and get it into the scoring area right where we'd like it.
I think sweeping is the most important aspect of the game.
Yep!
Most people tend to oversweep the stones.
Yep. Lead the weight.
You don't have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger to be a good friend and curler. Good judgment is more important than physical strength.
Come on, Cathy, come on. Come on.
Hurry for line. Remember, it's the broom that wins the battle.
Come on. Whoa, easy. Whoa, go. Yeah.
For Ford Hot Shots, I'm Russ Howard.
Now, from the Purex pillow people at Scott Paper, new noticeably softer Purex bathroom tissue. You'll see and feel the difference in every two-ply sheet. It's so much softer, so much smoother. Pillowy soft, regular, and jumbo Purex. Now, noticeably softer.
Welcome back as we update the game between New Brunswick and the Yukon Northwest Territories. Final stone for Don Moses from Whitehorse, trailing 2-0 to Heidi Hanlon from Thistle St. Andrews. Look at this, bump, in for shot. What a great stone thrown by Don Moses to get her one. Only way she could get in there with those New Brunswick stones sitting top 4, and she does. New Brunswick leads 2-1 over the Territories as they go to the 4th. Well, it's all right. It's a long week. You know, sometimes we forget our names. But there you go. That's how you do spell Alberta. Okay. As we go to the 4th end of a 2-2 tie, and Ontario still with last rock.
That's great. Oh, is he going to have a tough day?
How do you live that down?
I certainly hope he's not a politician.
Well, Alison still waiting for the right moment. The first stones of the ends have been in the front of the 12-foot, but she's at the moment content to hit them and keep it fairly open with last rock.
Hurry! Come on, hurry, a little more, come on. Hurry. Okay.
That's what starts to happen, though, Ray, when you start to think about those straight ones. You see a straight one last in, and you start to think, gee, I can't be outside the broom. Maybe pinch the broom a little when you're throwing, and they will start to move. It's not really falling. It's just straight with weight.
Whoa, guys. Whoa. Clean. Yep. Steven, take a look. Okay, that's good.
As we say, there are just 2 draws remaining, this one and then one this evening, and some very important games coming up in that. Manitoba, depending on what happens here, could be playing for first place. They may have it already locked up by then. Nova Scotia, Virginia Jackson will be looking for win number 1. Alberta will be looking, depending on what happens here, you know, you lose, you're sitting at 3 losses. Saskatchewan could play spoiler. And then Team Canada against Ontario. You know, it's sorting out right now that 4 losses might not even get you there.
No, you're right, Vic.
Deanne Shields.
Normal.
It's on control. She's firm.
still up, eh?
You heard Cathy Borst's comment, just too strong. That's not our control weight. That's a little too strong, a little too much weight. Gives Alison Goring a chance to go up and hit the shot rock, just out inside the 12-foot.
Yep.
Diane McLean.
Right up. Clean. Shot die.
Roll.
Maureen Brown.
Another full house today is standing room only.
Keeping our eye on the game between Newfoundland and PEI as they play in the fourth end of a 1-1 tie. Prince Edward Island with last rock, and from what we see appear to be lying 3. Top 12, 8 at 9 o'clock and 12 at 9 o'clock. And Laura Phillips from St. John's with her final stone. PEI does have the hammer.
It looks like all Laura has is a hit and trying to roll towards the other stone.
And she'll roll
Very
it.
nice.
Terrific roll.
Tuck a corner in behind that stone at the top of the 12.
A little more roll and it would have been just perfect.
Continues to be wide open in our game, Ontario and Alberta, as they play the fourth.
It's there, Linda. She can come down with very quiet tap back weight, and that's what it looks like she's playing with the ice she's taking, and just touch it back for 3, I believe.
Yep, on. Clean. 4 foot. Yep, 4 foot.
In the bottom left, Ontario just ticked out the Alberta stone, and so Alberta will try and draw it into the house again and leave it near the middle of the sheet.
That's a good pressing, guys.
That's Maureen Brown. Puts it into the 4-foot tee line.
Pressing, guys.
And here she is, quite the story. The 20-year-old Rebecca Jean McPhee, Prince Edward Island, with a record of 7-3. And coming off that very, very big win over Team Canada and Sandra Peterson this morning. There it is. And she's been this cool when it comes to shooting the entire week. Rebecca Jean McPhee put 3 on the board for Prince Edward Island, and they'll take a 4-1 lead over Newfoundland after 4. And they're picking up some fans here in Calgary with their play.
Well, you know, she's so young, and she's been so confident all week, and the reason that she's so good is, first of all, she has a good understanding of the game, and secondly, Linda, she throws it solid.
Absolutely.
She's solid on her
Very
feet.
sound mechanics. She looked a little ho-hum about that tap.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not a routine tap back. It just went down and threw it beautifully.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Your way, Katie. Your way. Okay.
Same story in our feature game, just the one stone in play, exchanging takeouts.
Normal.
What Alison would like to do is come down and hit this stone here. You're going to say, remove it, like so, and roll the shooter over into this area here, just like so, if possible. Sitting right about here, which would make it a little more difficult to pass it by that one.
Talked a lot about those backstones and how they can come back to haunt you. That one was just ticked out earlier by Ontario, but it may benefit them.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Where's the weight?
Yep. Right over. Yes. Yes.
Oh, there's the roll. Look at this. You couldn't have squiggled this any better.
I made it a little better than her. I rolled a little further.
Every year you add something. It's the squiggles this year, though, I like. Remember the plus minus now that Linda was showing us earlier. Both Borst and Goring were on the plus side.
Right now, Alison would have the plus in this game.
A little bit anyway.
Whoa! Whoa! Off!
Stay close.
Right off! Clean! Whoa! 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 Yep! Hurry! Okay.
Nice. The weight was just the perfect control weight.
Just watch the back one. Firm weight.
Alison's tightened up the broom a little bit, and she'll throw a little extra weight and try and get the roll out.
Yes!
Final stone. Looking for the blank of a 2-2 tie as we play the fourth inning. And there it is.
Especially important with her offensive skills, and she likes to hold on to the hammer.
And she will. Alison Goring in Ontario will maintain control of last rock as we go to the fifth end of play. Who will be Queen of the Mountain at this year's Scott Tournament of Hearts? We're in the final day of round robin play, and it's all tied 2-2, Ontario and Alberta.
Forget rubbing and polishing silver, brass, and copper. Clean quickly and safely with the amazing product used by museums worldwide. Their secret is the patented Quicksilver cleaning plate. In hot water, simply dissolve washing soda. No, it's not ready yet, but watch this. Insert the Quicksilver electrolytic plate. Touch any tarnished item to it, and in seconds, it's sparkling. Clean many objects together with no smell or tainting. Pieces are instantly table ready. Quicksilver also cleans quality brass and copper, and especially gold, fine jewelry, even precious stones. Look how Quicksilver cleans intricate patterns that trap other cleaners. Simply revolve large items. Where water flows, it cleans. Quicksilver is environmentally safe and lasts for years. No mess, no fuss. The astonishing Quicksilver cleaning plate.
Only $19.95 and $4 postage. Call 1-800-427-1151. That's 1-800-427-1151 to order now.
Ah, Saturdays. Nothing but good times, a little recreational activity, and Unitel's greatest long-distance offer, which is now even better. How so, you ask? Well, Unitel has just extended its incredible Super Saturdays offer until April. That's right, you can save 60% every Saturday on any call to anywhere in North America. Plus, there's no monthly fees, no minimum spending, and if you're already hooked up to Unitel, it's automatic. Hey, it's a bigger, better deal. How big? I'll show you. Toronto to Montreal, 10 minutes. Their rate, $1.56. With Unitel, only 62 cents. Wow. Hey, that was fun. Let's try that again. Calgary to Halifax, 10 minutes. With them, $3.12. The same call with Unitel, only $1.25. So Unitel's 60% is really better because it's bigger. Hey, it's super, hence the name. So call 1-800-991-5577 for Super Saturdays from Unitel. The best day of the week just keeps getting better.
Here are all the scores now as we near the midway point of the 16th round. British Columbia continues to lead Manitoba in a must-win for Marla Geiger from Richmond. We showed you that cool 3 scored by PEI to lead Newfoundland. New Brunswick, Yukon Northwest Territories in the 5th. Heidi Hanlon with Last Rock back, and she leads there. And we're tied 2-2 as we go to the 5th, and Ontario with Last Rock. Ah, yes. Can't go to a bonspiel without collecting pins. Dusty.
What's Dusty? Who's Dusty?
Dusty is our little dog.
Oh.
And my husband stayed home to look after her.
Even the dogs watch curling. You see, Vic? Dusty was the name of the horse that I rode last year in Red Deer.
Did you bring Dusty down the Red Deer
I would
today?
love to have
Yeah,
brought Dusty.
nice horse.
Watch the ribs.
It's like driving a car.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Hurry. Come on, right back, right back.
Here we go. The rock out
hurry.
in front,
Come on,
and Alison
push.
around it.
A little bit more. Great shot.
And the indication as well, you said earlier, Linda, about the faith that Alison Goring has in her lead, Mary Bowman. We saw that last night against Saskatchewan.
Well, they stole so many ends in a row, and it was because just those kinds of shots were made. If you're behind the tee line, your opponent can draw to you. In front of the tee line, Alberta has to come and tap it a little bit.
And this is what makes the, for a lead, certainly, that's what makes the game so much fun now in the free-guard zone.
It's just unbelievable. I absolutely enjoyed the last 3 years more than I ever have. I just wish that I was 24 and not 44. Oh, I mean...
I thought my earphones had broken for a second. And right around,
shot.
and to push it
Didn't
off
quite
the
get it out,
4-foot,
though.
Kate Horn.
Almost a great shot. Her numbers are great. She's played well all week. Also, all 4 of them throw very soundly. Rock is well in front. Good motion from the hack.
Yep.
Looking for the roll. What a great shot. Whoa.
That's actually a very aggressive call, because if they tried to just nose hit over there, keep their rocks spread out, then they forced Alberta to make the good hit and roll a longer distance. They've grouped their rocks a little bit now, and it's a shorter distance for Alberta to get the flop.
Yeah, I just rolled a little too much. Close to a great one, though, Linda. She stops behind that guard.
Control!
Statistics, of course, so much now part of the game, and well, look at this. We have some of your numbers from when you played.
Look at that beautiful corn broom. Whose body was that, though?
Here are the numbers now, even on us. In the last 3 years, you're a -6.
Hey, what can I say?
You know? Diane McLean.
Right up. Hurry! Come on, right up. Good sweeping.
All right, do you play down to it, or do you try and bump it back?
Ooh, that's the decision. You don't have the hammer. You could certainly come down around the guard if you wanted, but...
I think I'd be playing the tap.
I would be
We can
too.
always hit that one later. Really tight to the guard.
Thinking about hitting the wide open one.
She's worried
That
about
would
the
be the wrong
guard,
one.
but I think it's got lots of
You
room
can
to
see
come
almost
around.
all of this back one. I know, but like bumper weight. I think you got to go here. We can always hit that one later if we have
but what
to.
if you crash the guard?
Oh, I know that,
You
but
can't give up 3.
no. But if we don't hit and roll any of the shots, she'll go around this guard.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. You got to play the shot rock behind the 4-foot. Otherwise, Alison will go right in behind it. Now she'll have one top 8 and one at the back of the 4-foot. Half guarded.
Good board.
If you hit the back one, no matter what, even if you sit and stick there, Goring's going around the guard.
T.N. Shields.
Yep, Katie. Katie.
I can't put it on with my microphone.
This is our position here at the Max Bell Center, and it's just as close as the people are.
T-line.
And a great vantage spot
T-line,
for our
you're back.
coverage of this 1995 Scott Tournament of Hearts.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, you heard what Cathy Borst said about that last takeout, and that's what happened, unfortunately, for Alberta.
T-line.
Will this one stop? Oh, a big missed opportunity there for Ontario.
Yeah, I hate to miss those ones. Well, Vic, I was going to try and put my hat on for that shot, as you heard.
But you
couldn't because of my
headset.
That's right.
Of which how the whole world knows.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a very nice hat, though, right?
It is.
We saw that earlier. Very nice.
Goes with the chins.
Maureen Brown. First of the third stones here in this fifth end of a 2-2 tie.
Rock's turning funny, isn't it?
Of course, you won't miss a thing with Canada's most comprehensive curling coverage. Let's go over next door. Sheet B, fifth end, final stone, Manitoba, British Columbia, Connie Lalipurdy will hit right there, and does she stay out? It looks like it. So the nose hit, and it'll be the blank. And she couldn't afford, I would think, Linda, to roll anyway. She had to hit it, or she would have just bitten the top of the 12. So it's a blank, and still a BC lead, 2-1 as they go to the fifth end break.
Careful. Be careful. Careful.
This is that same path they saw slide with the last one. That's why Alison's calling to them.
Yeah, right back here. Whoa, 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 it's back, it's back. Nice shot.
Normal on this one.
Still a chance, though, for Ontario to possibly get there, too. It's set up that way.
Yep, yep. Hurry. Oh, hurry. Yep, yes, yes. Oh, yep, yes. Hurry.
Oh, very nice. Great roll. That was a long way to come, and she was playing that outside-in shot, which sometimes runs a little straight, but perfect movement at the end and great roll.
Maureen Brown.
Best you could get, Linda.
The last of the third stones. Ontario's Christine Mccrady.
Oh, yep, yep. Hard.
Hurry.
Hurry. Hurry. Right up, right up.
They were hoping to roll to separate these two stones out, but actually it's rolling closer to the other stone.
Double's there now.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have my weight up here. Okay. Two more.
Keeping our eye on the game between Prince Edward Island and Newfoundland. PEI sitting at 3 losses against Newfoundland at 5-5. Laura Phillips. Looking at bump, bump, bump. They're just about to play their skip stones, and we'll show you the conclusion.
Okay, this is going to be normal. Wait.
You try to catch them both, Linda, or do you want to hit and roll in front of the one out at the 12?
I think the double's a pretty good option here because they are so close together.
She's playing.
Oh!
First stone for Cathy Borst.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa!
She threw big weight.
Crowd will tell you.
Yep. Nice shot. That's it.
Still trying to make the decision. Laura Phillips on the right. Cathy Cunningham, the third for Newfoundland against PEI. And that yellow stone covering the pin, sandwiched between a couple of Newfoundland stones. And Laura Phillips trying to figure out if she can squeeze it out, leave herself lying 2.
I think she could squeeze it out okay, but she can't get to the nose of the stone, of the red stone, because of the guards out in front. It's about half covered.
Laura Phillips and Newfoundland making their second straight appearance at this year's championship. Made it all the way to a tiebreaker a year ago in Kitchener-Waterloo, but this year will not repeat.
Clean.
Alison Goring in her first stone.
She's looking for the roll here if she can.
Yes.
Just a little one in behind.
They had to brush it. She had to just brush it at the end and hold it a bit.
Yeah, there was a bit of a disagreement over sweeping there, and just curled up enough at the end so they didn't get the roll.
Laura Phillips, the upper right, her first stone. She does have last rock.
She's trying to come off the side one and bounce the other yellow one.
Cathy Cunningham with the call across, little bump. She moved it far enough. She's moved it far enough for 1. Newfoundland appear to be lying. Shot stone, red stone. That's the one on the center line. And second shot, though, still belongs to PEI, the yellow stone. Cathy Borst, her final stone.
They've got to get it by the guard.
Got it by, they do. Oh, some great brushing by that front end. Deanne Shields, Kate Horn.
This is one of those cases for Alison Goring where I think you could just draw and take your 1.
That's what they're talking about.
Why? Don't you want to keep the hammer here?
Yeah, you do, but it's just too risky if you don't. If you happen to turn it inside or something and chip the guard, you give up a steal. And
I think we'll try. It's a tough rollout.
yeah, it is a tough rollout. You're right,
If
Alison.
we happen to. No, but that's a tough roll, and it goes so much. We'll play it safe and take 1.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. You don't like to give up. This end went from 3 to 1.
Yeah, very much so. In fact, they missed
Potential 1.
Yeah, that's right. They missed the draw to lie 3. Had it set up for 2. And then the bad roll by Christine Mccrady to set up the double, which Borst made.
Good roll, though, by Alberta.
Oh, granted, yeah. Bring it over, yeah.
It's on the other one.
Maureen Brown set that up.
Well then.
So play it safe, Alison Goring says. Let's take 1 here in 5.
Whoa.
Now it's got to dig in time. Will it? Will it hold on or go too far? It may have gone too far. Deanne Shields having a look. We'll wait until they decide. They're going to measure. So let's go to the game with Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland. This is the final stone for Rebecca Jean McPhee.
She's trying to guard to prevent the raise on that red one, but that's going to overcurl. I'm not sure that's even going to guard anything.
Now, has she got a raise onto her red, onto the yellow to score 2, maybe 3 here?
I think so. Maybe 4.
Yeah, you've got to move it back 8 foot for 4. You're right. Now the measurement. And did Alison Goring's final draw go too far? That's the red stone. That's the Ontario stone. It's 2-2, remember, as we play this 5th.
always a lot of pressure on the umpires when they're measuring these. Done a lot of umpiring in the past. And
oh, one yellow. And very definitively pointed at the Alberta stone. So trying to play cautiously backfires on Ontario. It's 3-2 Alberta as they go to the fifth end break. Final stone of the game between PEI and Newfoundland, Laura Phillips. She trails 4-1.
This is where it will start to move. They've got to catch just the outside.
Gotta go now.
They leave it too long.
It looks like they did. As you get enough, she may have gotten 3. 1, 2, certainly. Did she get her third? I think so.
I think Cathy may have touched those stones. We'll have to wait and see.
Cathy Cunningham. Cathy Cunningham at the top of the picture, the third, calling for it, looking to brush the PEI stone away, and then falls.
They had to brush it earlier and hit it a little higher, Linda, and it would have been an easy 3, maybe 4.
They only get 2. 2 goes up on the board. So Prince Edward Island will continue to lead it 4-3 over Laura Phillips in Newfoundland here at the Scott Tournament of Hearts.
Working with my son, it's a great feeling.
In calving season, we're going good 20 hours a day, every day. You've always got to have a truck.
We have a Ford 150 Super Cab. It does some work. Rough roads, pasture, got lots of horsepower, and it gets there. No wonder it's Canada's best-selling vehicle. Oh, I've learned everything I know from them, so hopefully I'm doing it right now.
As the thermometer drops, dangerous crystals can form in your car's engine, threatening to shorten its life. That's why today's Quaker State has engineered intelligent oil. Oil that senses the changing threats in your engine and adapts its own molecular structure for continuous protection. Whenever the driving conditions change, so does Quaker State, the intelligent oil for longer engine life.
Scotties are softer now. Pass it on.
Scotties are softer now. Pass it on. Scotties are softer now. Pass it on.
From Scott Paper, our softest Scotties ever, in beautiful decorator boxes. Scotties are softer now.
Do you dream in color? In bottomless blues and screaming yellows? In sounds that shake you to the bottom of your heart? In images clear as crystal and brilliant as ice? In faraway worlds as close as your fingertips? These are what dreams and Sony Trinitron televisions are made of. Make one come true for you. It's your life. Isn't it worth a Sony?
Welcome back to the Max Bell Center and the 1995 Scott Tournament of Hearts. We're in the fifth end break of our featured game between Alberta and Ontario, with Cathy Borst of Edmonton leading 3-2. Time now for our Husky historical moment in this 16th round. Here's your question. 5 sister acts have won the Canadian Championship. The Joneses, Lalibertis, Pizzarcos, Suttons have all won. What was the other sisters team to win? Sister act. Sister act. Get you caught up on scores, and that's the steal of 1. Standing out now as Alberta leads 3-2 over Ontario. Blank in 5, and British Columbia continues to lead Manitoba. Connie Laliberti with last rock. PEI, Newfoundland got 2. They still trail by 1. Rebecca Jean McPhee of Charlottetown leading there in New Brunswick. Heidi Hanlon with the lead over Dawn Moses of Whitehorse. Reminder to stay with us right after the game for the TSN Turning Point, brought to you by Interstate.
Oh, please, just help me this once. Oh.
Next time, get a dependable Interstate battery. We check them before you buy them for fresh power. Guaranteed.
I don't know how you can sleep through this. This is big now. Oh my, we're into the 16th round of the Scott Tournament of Hearts, and everything is on the line here. First stone has been played as we begin the 6th end, and Alberta and Kate Horn have come into the rings and sit biting the top of the bucket.
Now, it was interesting in that last end. Let's just rethink that last shot that Alison played in 5, Ray. I was a little surprised the way she drew. There's nothing wrong with drawing. I absolutely agree. I was a little surprised she drew to the side rather than to the center, because once you decide that you're trying to just draw, complicating the issue is when you draw to the edges and there's a lot less house to draw to.
Yeah, you can sometimes draw away from that.
Piece it out.
I think if you'd put that rock maybe more towards center line, it might have been shot, if you just think of the same weight. But just slid a little too far, and a big point for Alberta.
Big swing, because there was a potentially a 3 could be scored there, and deuce, and then a great roll by Alberta, then the double, and it's 4 points in total. But you'll see Alison now go right to the offense because she's down the 1, and she did by playing the freeze, as you just saw right there, and gets the jam, and away we go.
The Ontario lead, Mary Bowman.
It's clean. Shot, Mary.
Live update, final stone, Manitoba, British Columbia, 6th. And it's 2-1 BC leading. This is Connie Laliberty looking to hit and roll out, but she'll roll inside and take 1 to tie it 2-2. And Linda, you're suggesting that the BC team might be playing these games now to keep themselves alive. Remember, at 4 losses, they're going to play these games very clean.
Well, for one reason, BC is more used to straighter ice. And with the swing here, they've been getting into a little bit of trouble. And so they had talked, and BC was going to keep it more open. So in that game, it'll be interesting to see if Connie Laliberty forces the issue.
So do you think that, Ray, Connie wanted to take 1 there?
No, definitely didn't want to take 1. She tried to blank that, but that's what happens in those games when you're running, is that you hit and stick, and then you give up the hammer. No, she definitely wanted to blank it, but as Linda says, the game plan, obviously, from BC's point of view, is just to play it very simple. She does have control of the game now. It's 2-2, but she has the hammer, so it will be interesting to see whether Connie tries to close an end or 2.
3-2, Alberta leading Ontario in our featured game in the 16th round. 6th end, Ontario 2nd, Diane McLean.
Nice roll by Alberta, so Diane's going to have to squeeze that yellow rock out past her own, sitting in the 4-foot.
Right over. Go good.
Hey, Deezer.
Same way.
Terrific numbers by both seconds, Deanne Shields and Diane McLean.
Very confident in their team. Just going to play the hit here, hit July 2.
Yep.
Terrific shot making. The level of play of women's play in our country, Vic, has really come to the fore. I think for the three of us, it was never more obvious than last year in Oberstdorf when you compared Sandra Peterson to the field in Oberstdorf. And it wasn't that she was in a class all by herself. And the rest of the world just hasn't made that move with us. The Canadian Curling Association and their programs across the country, our coaching programs across the country, our ice facilities, our ice making technology, it's just moved our game into another level. And until the rest of the world gets with it, they're going to be in deep trouble at those World Championships.
World Championships and, of course, Olympics now, beginning in 1998 in Nagano. A steal of 1 is the difference in 5 for Alberta. Yeah, it was nice to see Vera Pezer and Joyce McKee this morning. And Joyce McKee, of course, won numerous Canadian championships. Vera Pezer won 3 in a row, and that's the number and the record that Sandra Peterson is trying to equalize. And Joyce McKee was quite impressed by what she's seen this week.
Oh, I've talked to home a couple of times, to people at home, and they just can't believe the level of play. It's fantastic.
Nice way.
Ontario able so far to keep the 2 in the rings.
Want to try this?
Set up again.
Whatever you like. What?
For a possible 2.
Oh, we'll wait 1 more. Control. Control, wait.
Remember on the again on the plus-minus side, that was where, if you believe the numbers, Alberta may have showing a little bit of a weakness. Would be a 3rd with Maureen Brown, but certainly not so far.
Certainly not. Christine missed that draw at the last end too, which I'm sure she is upset with herself at.
Okay.
Same way.
Only 2 draws to go. This one and 1 tonight. Manitoba continues to lead the standings, followed by Ontario, Alberta, PEI and Team Canada, and British Columbia. They are the 6 teams still in contention.
And those 2 teams at 2 losses are playing right here. It's a huge game for them. Unfortunately for Maureen Brown, both of her hits have rolled further away from the other Ontario stone. They were hoping to keep them grouped, but Ontario's able to make a nose hit on this side of the sheet and really spread out their rocks.
And this male or female, this is as good a exchange of stones for 6 ends that you could watch.
Okay.
Yes, the ends have not been complicated.
Mine in the first end.
Somebody throw a hit? I'm trying to think. They did. The second did. And then Dee just did and just touched it, remember?
Okay, this should be good then. We need
3rd?
What? No, half, I think.
Just about half, eh?
Normal weight.
Linda, you as a skip, do you like to pay attention to the ice, or do you like your 3rd to watch others? Shots and that kind of thing? You want to know that yourself?
Oh yes, you feel much more comfortable throwing when you feel really in control of the ice. It's interesting. I thought maybe with Maureen shots they would try this type of thing, hitting the one and rolling over towards the other, but Cathy's trying it now.
Okay. Be close to normal here and meet half.
About half a rock for the double. Hit the roll would be good though too.
Off. Whoa, right off. Right off.
Well, at the end, she was glad just to get a piece of it. She thought for a moment it was going to go by. She threw it up a bit and ran straight down.
Even. Is that right?
They were tied in percentage. Coming into this draw, they are tied through 5 ends of play, Borst and Goring.
Some nice hairs here.
backed a bit at the end. What? We even backed a bit. We had.
Alison Goring, Ontario, with last rock here in 6th, trailing 3-2.
Just got to watch these closely because she is going into the crowd side, and sometimes it's a little frosty there, but doesn't seem to be any problem. Diane staying with it. Sliding a bit now. Well, they want to get them even. This gives hit and roll this time, she says.
Or just roll over?
Yeah, I think just roll over. I don't know. It's pretty wide, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty. You have to catch at least half to get it, and more, yeah. Let's try just roll over there.
Yeah. Hey, roll on top of it. Like.
Okay.
Here's a good look at the sheet, and you can see what we were talking about just as you get close to the boards, and it hasn't crept in very far, Linda, so I mean, the ice has been sensational. The sliding surface, get the best ice makers in the world here, and it's just been fantastic. She's playing the hit and roll this time. Hit this one here, not trying the double. Try and roll over here, sit over in this area here.
This is what I prefer to do. Try and get the hit and the roll. Stay for shot rock. At least you make it difficult then for Ontario to get there too.
Yep, come on. Whoa! Whoa, whoa! Whoa, whoa, up! Whoa, 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 whoa!
And the shooter won't hang around. Almost seemed like they little miscommunication in terms of brushing.
It sounded like Maureen thought it would curl, and it just didn't.
Dream shot.
So Alison Goring with the open draw for 2 to take the lead here after 6.
Same race.
Any piece of the paint for 2.
She's a little closer to center this time.
Gee, the sweepers are kind of jogging beside it. That's never a good look at it. Is it going to touch hers? No.
Will it stop in time, or will she miss the opportunity? She does. And right out the back. Shaking her head, Alison Goring. It's a tie instead of a lead.
There are some things you can't put a price on. Fortunately, safety isn't one of them.
Hi, roadside assistant.
Cantel Amigo for $19.95 a month with no setup fees and no long-term commitment. Because if you had to put a price on safety, this is it. Cantel Amigo.
Face it, shaving is a pain. It strips away the skin's moisture, leaving it hot, dry, and burning. But now there's proof you can take the heat out of shaving. Introducing Sensitive from Old Spice. It's the one with cooling sensates, an invigorating blast of real refreshment that cools skin scorched by shaving. Prove it to yourself. Try new Sensitive from Old Spice. It's more than a great scent. This is a cooling blast of real refreshment that takes the heat out of shaving.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage of this 1995 Scott Tournament of Hearts as we go over to the game between Newfoundland and PEI. Final stone for Prince Edward Island. And this is Rebecca Jean McPhee leading 4-3 and throwing her final stone against 1, 2, 3 Newfoundland stones. Laura Phillips, but hits and sticks at the back of the 4 for her single point. And so Prince Edward Island will now lead at 5-3 over Newfoundland. PEI at 3 losses. And as Rebecca Jean said to Ray 3 losses is where you want to stay. 4, while that's considered good, with this field may not be good enough to get you to a tiebreaker. Our season of champions continues with the Labatt Brier in Halifax. Our coverage begins March 4th. For ticket information, call 1-800-667-1995. Then we'll be on to Perth, Scotland for the World Junior Men's and Women's Championships, the 25th and 26th of March. The Championship of the World Curling Tour will come your way from Selkirk, Manitoba, April 1st and 2nd. And then our season of championships, or season of champions, winds up with the World Curling Championships. And what a way to wind up the season of champions with the Ford World Curling Championships.
That's just deleted.
Oh. Oh.
Whoa.
There's just so many of them.
It's got lots. Whoa for line. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry. That rock in practice was a little quicker, and I think it is a little quicker, but I got to remember that.
Okay.
Because I just, you know what? Well, yeah.
Yeah, 14.
Little comment from Alison that maybe her 2 stones are sliding differently, and maybe she thought she had the good one in the last end, and it just slid for her. Those are the tough ones, though. Really big opportunity to pick up her 2. This is an indication, again, of Alberta's style of play. The first one has come short. You can't completely remove it from play because of the free guard zone rule, but you could come around it, and Alberta's just playing open.
Yep, she's coming. Atta girl. Shot, Katie.
You know, Lindy, you think about the opportunities missed here. Ontario had a chance at one point to live 3, potential of 3. Another end, there was a chance for her to live 2, and she only got 1. There was a chance to score 2. This wouldn't even be close to score all those points. Now, granted, Alberta has made a couple of shots to get themselves out of it.
Yeah, some really good shots, yes.
Yes! Hurry! No, 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 no. Okay.
Peeking into the game between Manitoba and British Columbia, and it's 2-2 as they play the 7th. And it is British Columbia with last rock, and your idea of British Columbia being able to play this clean has disappeared. And I don't know, my goodness. Looking at this, yellow, red, who do you think? This is really close. Yellow is BC, Manitoba is Redstone.
A couple of great shots. I don't know who's got it, Dick. My eyes are not youthful enough to be able to separate that. But I don't know who shot. I think Connie Lalibert is just going to play down and block any movement on that front one. But I'm not sure. There's nothing she can do with it, really.
No, I think she's trying to come in and just sit in front of that yellow one,
Yeah,
maybe a little on center line side, and hope not to set up any angles so that Marla can get in there with their last one.
British Columbia does have last rock.
She can't touch it.
BC actually had a nice end set up earlier, a couple of terrific shots actually back and forth. And that's why there's the 2 in the 4-foot now. And Manitoba just trying to block the way.
The shot you heard me whispering about earlier was the shot that Cathy Overton had made to come in there and take a good end away from BC.
Now, is she going to bump them in? Yes, she did. So if it wasn't shot stone for BC before, it is now.
I think that she must have felt they were line one against.
Yeah, they didn't seem too worried about that. They really were trying to close down the button area. It overcurled a little bit for her, and the draw is there, but boy, the broom is very wide into the 12-foot. Must be huge swing on this sheet.
Now we're going to stay here for the final stone of Marla Geiger. We'll just tell you that in our game Ontario-Alberta, there is a center line guard, and Ontario has drawn the button, and they're playing second stones in that game.
Just that Linda was mentioning, just talking about Vic, look at where the brush is being held. That's a lot of swing right in the middle of the 12-foot.
And she wants to catch full 4 here.
Well, she's going to catch button.
Oh, you're right. Pardon me. For her second point.
She needs the piece of the little button.
It's tied 3-3 as we play 7. Must win for British Columbia. You have to be, you think, guessing a little bit going out this far.
It'll be a little bit stickier the bit farther out that you go.
Here it comes.
Now make a big move.
Christine Jurgensen, Sherry Fraser's there. Here comes Kelly Owen, and
look at this come across.
Going out that far presents some problems for Marla Geiger, so she'll have to settle for one, and Connie Laliberty will get the hammer back and trailing now 3-2 when they go to the 8th. As we return to our featured game, a 3-3 tie, Alberta with last rock, but Ontario lying 2, Button and top 12, and a centerline guard as well.
An interesting comment by Alison. You think, Linda, she really feels that she has a faster stone, that one of the stones is faster, and she's missed a draw with it twice. And these athletes are that good, Vic. They know. I mean, they can feel that they threw the same weight or approximately the same weight. They throw so many stones, and when you get a stone that's riding a little bit faster, you can't believe that it slides. It's twice that rock has slipped. Now, she looked like she threw it a little bit stronger to me, too, but it did slide.
The only comment I would have, I'm a little surprised she kept it, because she felt it in practice that maybe it was sliding a bit more, and normally what the skip will do is give it to the lead, right?
That's right, yeah, that's right.
Take two that they think are more evenly matched. Big end setting up here, though, for Ontario, sitting 2. One guard just to the right is center. They'll try and put this one right near center line in front of the rings.
Christine Mccrady.
Not at all. Shot.
Don't want this too tight.
Coming up tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. The NHL tonight, the Mighty Ducks and the Maple Leafs, Anaheim, Toronto. It's the NHL tonight on TSN, and then we'll be with you for final round coverage. And it'll all sort itself out here in Calgary.
Might get the back one yet. Go normal.
That's what she's going for.
You were saying earlier, Linda, about you don't want to peek at any other games. It's very difficult when they're right beside you.
Yeah, you see the scores go up and you take a little glance, but you've got to stay focused. Maureen with a big shot here to get her skip out of trouble.
Might catch the back when she said, and she does. Maureen Brown, now that one stone now is 8 foot, and it's behind a couple of corner guards.
It worked out pretty well for them. She's going to get both of the rocks off the center line. First the guard onto the top 12 foot, and gets that one off the front of the button, which was such good positioning for Ontario. Sure, it's still behind the guards, but it's much more open now for Cathy Borst.
Whoa for line. Whoa for line. Whoa. Nice shot.
Remember, Alberta does have last rock here in 7 of a 3-3 tie.
Gotta go. Yeah, what do I have to have? 4 foot?
Opportunities. Ontario has had some.
1478, right?
And maybe the biggest one right now is that missed draw for 2.
I have 15.
And 6.
Okay, so what do we need? 14.5? No. And then
from the comments from Maureen Brown and the sweepers, it sounds like not only are we seeing lots of swing in this ice, but still very, very fast.
24 and a half, she's talking about almost 25. Shot.
From a first-hand miss, Maureen Brown since then has just played exceedingly well. She's made terrific rolls, and what a nice draw there.
Back line.
Back line, wait.
Yeah, they went by the guard by tons.
She's absolutely right. Alison's right. Just back line, wait. They missed the guard by a long way. It'll move late.
Alison Goring, the first for the Ontario skip.
Yes! Hard! Hurry!
Watch center line. Really moving.
Got it by. Oh, they do, and look at this. Oh, that front end. Diane McLean, Mary Bowman.
That was close.
And when you're sweeping those, you start to scrub even harder as you see that rock get closer and closer to center line. Just watch it. As it hits the hog line, looks like it's just going sideways. Not a lot of distance there. Now, there was no way Alison could avoid this. She's gotten a little roll to the outside.
A firm back line.
So Cathy can now try and hit it and roll back behind that guard.
Cathy Borst.
Yeah. 3, whoa! 3! Hard! Whoa! 3! Yep! Hurry on! Quick! Hurry! Quick! Hurry! Yes!
Well, they couldn't hold it enough to.
Well, the bad part here is that it gives, they really duck in there, and it really gives Alison Goring a chance to get it in there behind that guard.
Even short next to that, okay? Because then it makes her draw tougher.
But if you make the good shot here and get it to the top of the forefoot.
We'll go in if the line's good, but if not, tight's real good. Okay? I know I ain't gonna get it this time. So I said I could make that last shot because that was my drawaway. Okay.
Okay, she wants it right in here. If the line's good, and if the line's not good, then she just leave it short. She says that's not bad.
But she also said she doesn't want to set up the double. No. Where would the double be there?
Yes for line.
Somewhere top 8 foot open,
yes,
so that Cathy could get at it.
Yes for line.
The way it curls, I'm not sure it's you're able to get it open in this spot. It just really goes.
This one they couldn't drag around the guard. It'll sit top 12.
It does make Cathy's shot very difficult, though. She's got to draw through the hole. I don't think she can.
Hole's pretty tough.
Huh?
Hole's pretty tough. The hole's there too, but you gotta have absolute perfect weight. But yeah, she threw that one there and crashed on the center line.
We're gonna be out in frost out there.
I think red is second shot, is it?
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody agree with that? I'd be awfully tempted to hit it.
You know how to get it here. That's where I threw it, right?
It's a really tight hole, eh?
Goes pretty quick.
Hit it, just gives up the one.
Well,
if you missed the draw by any chance.
They're really worried about that swing in the ice.
You can barely see this well. Can you see this?
An update for you. Newfoundland, Prince Edward Island, final stone of the 7th. PEI leading 5-3. This is Laura Phillips, St. John's Curling Club. Drawing against 2 PEI stones, full in the 8 foot.
Drawing through the hole. Linda's right. You could just hit. You could concede the one.
And Phillips.
1 point.
Sits 4 foot for 1.
Yeah.
And it's 5-4 now. Prince Edward Island leading. Rebecca Jean McPhee from Charlottetown. Laura Phillips, St. John's.
Well, if you're going to play this draw, you really have to believe the ice. It's going to go...
I guess I'm going to have to go through the port here.
Yeah, it's going to go very hard as it reaches the hog line. And to get through that port, you've got to take a little bit wider ice and just throw straight draw.
Cathy Borst, final stone of a 3-3 tie here in 7.
Whoa! Whoa! Off! Off, D! Off! No! 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 No!
Oh, he's really going to have to just
Not moving!
literally turn right.
Take half.
And she won't. She'll give up the steal of 2 here in this 7th end. And maybe your idea, Linda, would have been the right one. Make the hit on that stone and just give up 1. Instead, it's 2, and Alberta leads 5-3. Ontario.
Why mess with paper towels that soak through and let go? Now there's Scott Towels Ultra, the extraordinary new paper towel with holding power. New Scott Towels Ultra, the ultra-absorbent, ultra-thick paper towel.
Ah, Saturdays. Nothing but good times, a little recreational activity, and Unitel's greatest long-distance offer, which is now even better. How so, you ask? Well, Unitel has just extended its incredible Super Saturdays offer until April. That's right, you can save 60% every Saturday on any call to anywhere in North America. Plus, there's no monthly fees, no minimum spending, and if you're already hooked up to Unitel, it's automatic. Hey, it's a bigger, better deal. How big? I'll show you. Toronto to Montreal, 10 minutes. Their rate, $1.56. With Unitel, only 62 cents. Wow. Hey, that was fun. Let's try that again. Calgary to Halifax, 10 minutes. With them, $3.12. The same call with Unitel, only $1.25. So Unitel 60% is really better because it's bigger. Hey, it's super. Hence the name. So call 1-800-991-5577 for Super Saturdays from Unitel. The best day of the week just keeps getting better.
Here are all the scores as we near the end of the 16th round. British Columbia in a must-win, continuing to lead Manitoba. Connie Laliberty with Last Rock. PEI with the lead on Newfoundland. New Brunswick by 3 over the team from Whitehorse. And just in case I misled you, Ontario with that steal of 2. Now leading Alberta 5-3 as we go to the 8th end of play from the Max Bell Center in Calgary.
We could have just hit the front one.
Well, no, we don't want to give up.
Well, Daryl says or play the double. Try the angle double.
Drive it back on our own there, too, anyways.
Yeah. It's just that it was such a tough spot. That's the problem, eh? Like it's...
I would have had to go way out.
I know. Well, they go in, we go corner.
Yeah.
Right?
Maureen Brown, Cathy Borst. The Daryl they're talking about is their coach, Daryl Horn.
Well, as I mentioned, I would have hit the second shot. This was a very, very tough spot for Cathy to follow Alison down. Alison's really cut, and so Cathy took that extra little bit of ice, and hers did not move. She had a really nice weight, and it ended up just making contact with that second shot rock.
Right up. Right up. As far as you can. As far as you can. Nice weight, Mare. That's good.
Corner guard in the free guard zone area.
No. Off, D!
Schwartz is out in front now.
Clean. Come on. Yep. Come on, Maureen.
That's good. Nice shot.
shot, Dee. Katie. Kate.
Checking in on the game between British Columbia and Manitoba as they play the 8th. BC leading, as we say, must win for the team from Richmond. Marla Geiger, the skip, and this will be her final stone, and Manitoba is lying one. There you see it coming into play in the 8-foot tee line behind that tight corner.
Well, Connie Laliberte just drew that rock there, just got it by the front one and put it in there, and forces Marla Geiger to come down and try to angle freeze on it. Laliberte with last rock in this end. BC with the 1-point lead.
Marla had been trying to keep this end open. Her rock is the one out in front guarding that stone. She tried to peel off a Manitoba rock and just nose hit it. And that gave the rock for Connie to draw around, but she made a great draw because that guard wasn't in an easy spot for her.
Good looking shot. It's not too strong. She doesn't want to bounce off of it. That's a good shot.
In our other game, bottom left, you see the Ontario stone is shot rock. They came around that center line guard. Alberta tried to come to it, and they didn't quite get shot rock out of it, so Alison's going to try and tap that yellow one out, it appears.
There's a good look at the tough shot that Laliberte has now.
Yep. Yep. Whoa.
All she can do is just touch it on the outside and push it over.
The final stone for Connie Laliberte here in the 8th, trailing 3-2.
Back. It's coming across the face, I guess, Linda.
Cathy Overton, you can hear her, has got a bend.
Catch a corner of it. That's all she can.
Does she spill it far enough? Does it go far enough? It does.
Terrific shot.
Connie Laliberte. And Manitoba, with a record of 8-1, pick up 2 to lead 4-3 after 8 against British Columbia.
I honestly didn't think she had enough room. Did you, Linda? I didn't think she had enough room to come across the
It
face.
didn't look like it, but we've seen this ice move so much today. I guess we haven't seen that sheet, and it moves nicely, too.
It sure did.
Ontario made that tap back. Alberta just tried to get rid of those rocks, but the one will stay in the 4-foot. That's the Ontario red rock.
Eddie Wernick and Kevin Martin and Kerry Burknick just licking their chops looking at the ice move here, boy. You get this kind of movement, the Briar coming up. This is Russ Howard ice, boy. This is the kind of ice where you see absolutely a great shot. I honestly didn't feel that Connie could get across the face of it, but it's just moving like crazy.
Diane McLean.
Right off.
Playing the 8th, 5-3, Ontario leading Alberta. Cathy Borst of Edmonton with last rock.
Okay.
That was a great call by Alison. Yeah. She was trying the inside roll, but when she saw it hang, she actually tried to have that yellow one just push her shot rock over a little bit more. Just
back
went by
line,
it.
Wait. What? Back line? Yeah. Half weight.
Well, that was just...
Same weight?
Cathy.
Same weight. Same weight, yep.
Little hit and roll behind the center line guard.
Whoa! Hack. Whoa! No line! Just hack! Clean. Stay close. Whoa! Whoa!
Go with it, Katie.
Yeah. Katie.
Six teams remaining in contention in this 16th round. British Columbia must win to keep their chances alive, and so it sets up a very big 17th and final draw coming your way this evening. Right after the NHL tonight, Manitoba plays the team from Whitehorse. Nova Scotia looks to win their first against Quebec. Alberta, Saskatchewan. Sherry Anderson will play spoiler if she can. And Team Canada, Sandra Peterson, will go against Alison Goring in their final round-robin game. This is the stone of Christine Mccrady.
Yep. Your way, Mary. Your way. Shot.
Well, Cathy, girl.
Want to do this? Or do you want to come around this?
Need to this?
Well, they've been with her the entire week, all the crowd here.
Whichever.
You like that?
There's great rivalry, of course, between Calgary and Edmonton, but
Same weight
there's
as
no
last
rivalry
year.
when
This is about 14 and a
you're
half
talking
years
about your
too,
province. And despite the fact
Hey?
Cathy Borst comes from Edmonton, they're all behind her here this year's Scott Tournament of Hearts.
Lots around! Way out! Whoa! Lots of weight! Whoa!
Win only!
Where is it? Yes! 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 Hurry! Hurry hard! Roll it! Hurry!
He's trying to get the little tick.
Whoa.
Well, good call by Cathy. She got the little tick.
Same way.
She can see about a corner of it, but with the movement in the ice, I think the closer you get to center, the more it moves, isn't it? So.
It does, and you have to be very, very careful here. You have to release it cleanly and not overthrow it. Then it will start to make its move.
The Ontario third, Christine Mccrady.
Hard! Hard! Hurry! Come on! Come on! Come on! Hurry! Hurry!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Good sweeping.
The steal of 2 in 7, the difference.
Yeah, I'll throw a little less. Just a tad less, eh?
Good chance for Marine Brown to get around here now and really, really put this end in good position.
Whoa! It looks like more!
She talked about throwing less.
Oh! Close! Close! Clear! Yep! Oh, yeah! Hard! Hurry hard! Hurry hard! Hard! Hurry! Keep going! Whoa, 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 whoa!
Boy, she had great line. They had just gotten that by Linda.
Gee, they left it most of the, about half of the way down the ice. The first half, they didn't touch it. In the second half, they were jumping on it to get it to stay straighter.
Which way do you want to come? You got like this way. Just normal. Just normal.
Well, they were sort of on and off it at the beginning, and they were afraid, I think, of seeing that last one in the last end go so straight. But once it moved, I don't know, it just went sideways. Took almost a big turn and took off on them.
In front?
Had lots of weight.
Yeah, weight.
To get in there.
A little lighter. They all do that. They just kind of come across at the end.
First of the skip stones. Ontario's Alison Goring. Alberta with last rock and trailing 5-3.
Whoa! Yep! Yes! Yes! Yes!
Hurry! 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 Hurry!
That's a very nice shot. It really takes the button away.
We do the double right now, then we'll send her up in the double.
Remember, they were even in terms of percentage earlier.
Well, in fairness to Cathy Borst.
Back or you're dead. I think you just got to guard it. You think so? Yeah. And maybe have something with your last shot on the other side, depending on what she does. But or you can try the double with your last shot.
Well, no, if I guard it. Well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I think you got to put a guard up. Yeah.
What if she drills that back, though?
Well.
Don't you think you should have another one in there somewhere?
Well, where are you going to put it, though?
Checking in on the game between Prince Edward Island and Newfoundland as they play in the 8-5-4. Prince Edward Island with last rock, line 1. This the draw for 2, and she has some backing here at the back of the 4, Linda.
And for you people on the island, this young lady is throwing 90% in this game. To this point, she put on a performance this morning as well, so.
She can come to the rocks. There's 2 red stones at the back of the 4-foot. Hers is on the other side of the 4-foot, so she can just come down to the back ones and sit 2. Very nice.
There they are, 2 for Prince Edward Island. Rebecca Jean McPhee. Do you think she's lying about her age and experience? Just 20 and a junior? She's playing with a lot more cool and calm than that. 7-4, PEI leading. Now the first stone by Cathy Borst.
Well, Cathy's called the guard. At least that's what they were talking about, and that's what it looks like they're brooming for. Only problem with playing this is Alison's got a lot of rocks around to get in off of, and maybe could tap her own up, and then you're really going to have nothing with your last one.
And also, I think there's an angle out there, too. The 2 rocks on the side, right to the shot rock.
So what do you play instead?
Well, there is the double takeout that she could try now. They talked about trying it with your last one, but you hate to leave it with your last one because you're leaving it for the opponent as well.
I don't think Alison will leave it there for her. I think there's an angle out there that she may be able to play.
Oh, that's good, guys. Whoa, right off, Katie. That's good.
I think Alison will probably see the angle, too. Those 2 rocks on the outside that you're looking at now, they're lined up. The angle's lined up a bit.
Like this? Just sort of a heavy draw and just stick it in there.
Yeah, I don't mind trying.
You could do that.
Right.
So,
or actually, we can do it back line weight.
What about the other? What about hitting this one here?
You got there.
Onto this one here.
And if we do this, that's okay too, right? So we're almost playing to miss that.
Yep.
Just to redirect it.
I don't think she's seen it. Has she?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because if it does this and stays there, that's okay too. So just back line.
Mind you, if she makes this, I'm not sure what Cathy has either. It's one of those nice
sticking off that outside one and try to
nice positions that you're in. She could try the big double, as Ray has mentioned, but she's.
Well, I don't think you even have to play it as a double.
No, and no,
the tap.
Right. And if we sit on top of it, if we hit that and sit on top, we're okay. We can't do any damage.
Hit it on the outside here, just touching this one here and pushing it this way.
No, because we got this other one over here, so we're okay. So just back line.
She gets a little rub off this, though. I don't know how. Cathy will have to play in off the side one.
Hey, yep. Whoa! Off this one. Come on, right up. Yes.
This one's hanging a bit on her. Christine's trying to come off the other rock.
Right up.
Yeah, just.
Oh, she took away the double.
Yeah. What do you think? How are we doing for time, guys? Not really, but.
Still has plenty.
Lots of time.
Katie, when I supposed to give you the draw over here, when I give you the draw over here.
They start with 70 minutes. They also have 2 one-minute timeouts that they can use.
Across the center line, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, we just got to hear the yellow guard here.
It's a very tiny port. Those rocks are staggered the other way. It's very tough to come through with the in-turn.
And what makes it so tough, too, then is the fact that the ice swings so much and you're just trying to draw weight here.
Yeah, line's good. Line's good. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's gotta move. Whoa. Whoa. Close. Yep. Wait only. Yes. Yeah, line. Yes, for line. Hurry. Hurry. No, no, guys. Okay. On yellow.
Couldn't get through, and so it will be one for Alberta here in this 8th end. Alison Goring continues to lead it. It's now 5-4 Ontario.
You were as out far as you could.
Well, I just missed that one guard and ended up on the other guard.
Yeah, they're talking about the curl, as Ray suggested.
Yeah.
But
time now to give you the answer to our Husky historical moment. It's all about sister acts. 5 sister acts have won the Canadian Championship, Women's Championship. The Joneses, Lalaberties, Pizzarcos, Suttons. Who was the other? Well, sister act, I thought immediately of Whoopi Goldberg.
During the Scott Tournament of Hearts, I think it would be Marilyn Bodo-Dart and her sister Chris Jurgensen.
And you're right. Year?
1986.
Beat?
Linda Moore.
And, of course, Christine Jurgensen is now here and playing lead for Marla Geiger. That's the answer to our Husky historical moment. Canadian and world champions. The Husky historical moment is brought to you by Husky Oil and their retail distributors of mobile lubricants.
Rust. What it can do to the outside of your car, weak, neglected antifreeze can do to the inside. You need the tough anti-corrosion formula of Prestone. Use fresh Prestone every year to give your radiator and cooling system heavy-duty rust and corrosion protection. No matter what happens to the outside, Prestone protects the inside. Prestone stops the rust that stops your car.
Look for Prestone Defroster to help remove frost from car windshields, wipers, and mirrors.
Great look. Beautiful hair. And only weeks ago, she came to my salon with a problem. Dandruff. So I showed her what Head & Shoulders can do. We washed half her hair with ordinary shampoo, the other half with Head & Shoulders. With regular use of ordinary shampoo, the flakes come back. But with regular use of Head & Shoulders, look, no more flakes. Looking good, Sally.
Thanks to you.
Head & Shoulders. Dandruff care for great-looking hair.
If you're between 50 and 75, Norwich Union will insure you for life with no medical exam or health questions.
Even with my heart condition, I didn't need a medical to be insured.
And they didn't ask us any health questions.
Your guaranteed life insurance can cost as little as $20 a month. Depending on your age and the premium you choose, you could be covered for up to $25,000. And in case of a fatal accident, your benefit triples up to $75,000.
With the guaranteed life insurance plan, I'll have the affordable protection I need, and my premiums will never go up.
Call this number now for your free personal enrollment kit. You're under no obligation, and no salesperson will visit. If you're between 50 and 75, you're automatically approved with no medical exam.
Just call 1-800-263-9899. An operator is standing by to take your call now. That's 1-800-263-9899. Ask for operator 403.
Updating another game for you, a must-win for British Columbia, sitting with 4 losses. They blanked 9, and so it's Manitoba with a 4-3 lead for Marla Geiger. And British Columbia will have last rock as they come home. And as they play 9, New Brunswick with a 5-3 lead over the Yukon Northwest Territories. And in that game, Heidi Hanlon from the Thistle St. Andrews in St. John does have last rock. As we return to our featured game here in this 16th round, and it is 5-4. Ontario leading as we go to the 9th, and Ontario and Alison Goring do have last rock, and they have one top 12 and behind a corner guard. This is the Alberta lead, Kate Horn.
Watch around.
Kate's first rock was just over the hog line. That's obviously the guard that's right there near center line, and Ontario came around it. It's such a long guard that it's not as difficult to get around it. Alberta's trying to come around both of those rocks. This one's hanging out a little bit for them.
Going the other way. Handle. Okay.
Lost its handle, actually.
Okay, Mayor.
Mary Bowman.
You don't really want to sit there, do you, Linda?
How much can you see of it? All of it?
Jim Van Horn will bring you up to date on
You gotta just breathe to it.
what's been happening in the world of sports. Sports Desk comes right up after our coverage of the 16th round here in Calgary.
Ontario was hoping Ray to roll to the other side and separate those rocks a little bit, because it does give Alberta this chance.
At least, Cathy. Hack her back line. Hack her back line. Well, the swing's big in here. Hack. No. Forward.
Okay, play hack. We gotta stay around here.
Deanne Shields.
It was just a discussion about how much weight to play on this rock, and I think the little lighter weight is better. Trying to save the shooter, a little more control when you throw less weight. The brushers can hold it.
No. Forward. No. Whoa.
Whoa, that's much.
She threw board after all.
Okay.
Yeah, that was board weight for sure. Great numbers for Brian McLean.
Yes!
I remember that was one position where both teams were in the plus minus or plus at the second position.
All the way. Whoa, whoa.
That as well as Skip.
Okay.
Same weight, good. A little blob.
You want to throw the same weight?
And in terms of seconds, Deanne was number 2 behind Joni McCusker.
Wait's good. Clean.
Tied with Sherry Fraser of British Columbia.
Clean. No. 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 Hang in. Whoa, okay.
Well, this game has been a constant struggle, it seems, to find the right place to put the broom down because of how much straighter it does go with that extra weight. Cathy Borst has had several roll out when she thought they would be fine because they ran much straighter than she wanted.
Yes. 3.
Whoa, whoa. Might as well. Okay.
I think she'd like to get away from that 4-foot, Linda.
Yeah,
Alison would like to get it away from there.
Ontario's trying to roll to the outside of the ring. Alberta's trying to roll to the center line side, and they just keep nose hitting that one.
Board, okay.
Alberta's Maureen Brown in the first of the third stones here in the 9th end. 5-4, Ontario leading.
Clean.
No. No.
For some reason it's running really straight all of a sudden. Okay.
That's curious. Are they noticing something there, Linda?
Well, they have been noticing this straighter ice with the more weight, though. I don't think it's any straighter, really. When you throw the draws, it really comes in.
I agree. It's just weight sensitive. You just step it up a little bit. They're throwing board weight at that. If you come back to hack weight,
I think it would come right in.
Keeping our eye on the game between Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland. 7-4, PEI leading against Newfoundland. 2 stones to come. Newfoundland with last rock, and they have 2 back 4 and back 8. And we'll get there.
We're going to tick it.
Yeah, Alison's actually trying to sweep it because she knew it was going to just catch the corner of it and push it sideways.
Go around.
There you see the 2 counters for Newfoundland. They do have last rock. This will be the final stone of Rebecca Jean McPhee, Prince Edward Island, at 7-3.
There's a look at the guard. You can only see about half of that shot rock. And here's the movement we see.
Got enough to bounce them both? No, so it'll be a hit for 2 and a tie game. Reminder of PEI at 3 losses.
Rebecca Jean needed her last one just to curl a tiny bit more, and she would have been sitting in great position, whereas Alberta's needed it to go a little bit straighter. Theirs rubbed on the guard in the bottom left, or in the rock in the 12 foot.
Sorry? Throw board weight.
Final stone, Laura Phillips, Newfoundland, from the St. John's Curling Club with a record of 5-5. Good performance last year. Again, she's just going to fall a little bit short here. And did she hang around, or will it roll too far? Kim Dolan, no, it'll stop in the 12 foot for 2, and so they're tied. Or pardon me, she'll trail. It's 7-4, so it's a 7-6 game. 7-6, PEI leading, and Rebecca Jean McPhee from PEI will have last rock coming home.
Double, I guess.
Yeah, okay. You gotta play the intern at it.
Okay.
Double's there.
Hit about a half.
Yep.
Maybe a little less. No normal.
Okay.
Normal weight. A little bit more.
This will be the first of the skip stones here in 9. Ontario leading by 1 and with last rock.
She made a double earlier, almost made the double there. Cathy Borst pushing the 1 stone way out in the side 12 foot.
Huh? I thought we did. You know, I almost swept it. Oh, I can't sweep it.
It was in front of the tee line, so Maureen couldn't sweep it.
Gone out that one.
So the shooter stayed nicely.
Yeah, a little less, I think, maybe would have pounded it for sure, but we did want to make sure our shooter stayed there too, right? Yeah. Perfect. Good.
First stone for Alison Goring.
Close. Close.
No line.
Come on.
Yeah, you're right, Ray. I ice that's really weight sensitive. I mean, you just step it up a little bit, huh?
Oh, it's maybe up a bit, was it, or no? That should have come over. I thought it would. Yeah, I didn't. I guess we had too much ice.
Oh, watch the line. Should be.
It's a good chance here for Cathy.
Would have been fine.
Get around this rock now. Tap it back if she... Get it right around it. It'll with the draw weight, then it'll really snap over.
Yeah. Too bad.
And the steal of 2 for Ontario in that 7th end is the one that may be playing on Cathy Borst's mind, because this is the same spot she tried to draw in where it went so straight. But if she gets it anywhere in there, I think it will move as it gets closer to center.
What's the weight? Hey, guys. What do you got? What do you got? Room? Room? Yep. Hurry! Yep, hurry hard! Hurry
Here it comes. Here it comes.
hurry! Quick! Hurry! Quick! Hurry!
Cade Horn, Deanne Shields. Drag it, drag it, drag it. Top 4.
Perfect shot.
And some of that applause is for Kate and Deanne, because they swept that
a
all
little
the
more.
way.
Just there, because you want to make sure. Right?
Yeah, okay.
No.
Look, they're just exhausted. Deanne almost bent over when she finished sweeping that one. They just scrubbed as hard as they could.
Alison Goring in her final stone. Play down to it, tap it back.
It's virtually the same one she just played.
Yeah, just the same shot.
Clean.
That's right, isn't it?
Oh, right off.
Staying out there.
Come on.
When she drops that brush, you know she's not happy. Ontario stole 2 and 7. Alberta steals 2 and 9. And takes the lead by 1.
The 1995 Scott Tournament of Hearts from Calgary, Alberta. Brought to you by Scott Paper. We care about the same things you do.
You don't choose to have an accident, but you can choose your repair center. More than 1 million Canadians have relied on AutoPro, the largest network of automotive professionals. AutoPro Collision, a courteous reception, professional repairs, qualified technicians, specialized equipment, and in addition to AutoPro's national warranty, take advantage of our deductible protection plan. AutoPro Collision, people you can trust.
Oh, my dream. I see myself sitting beside a big York stone fireplace. Have a place close to the seashore where we could sit and watch the sunset with a glass of wine.
CIBC Personal Vision Financial Security. To see how we can help secure your financial future with the right retirement plan, see your CIBC personal banker.
The way I see it, my retirement is going to be great.
At CIBC, we're working to see what you see.
We know you don't lose any sleep over bathroom tissue, but we know you do care enough to give your family the softness they deserve. So at Scott Paper, we keep making sure that's Cottonelle. Today's 2-ply Cottonelle is our softest, thickest ever. And we're proud, even a little excited, that families keep choosing Cottonelle quality. It's like we've always said, you can feel the cottony softness.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, come on. Oh! 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 Oh, hungry? Oh, Henry. Uh-oh.
People keep waiting for Rebecca Jean McPhee to fold under the pressure. Well, she was in a pressure-packed game this morning against the two-time defending Canadian and world champion Sandra Peterson, and playing the final stone of the 10th end, she had to draw 4 foot facing 2 Peterson stones, and there she was, like the veteran. And Prince Edward Island would win 7-5. This 20-year-old PEI sitting at 7-3 now, along with Team Canada, and those are your 6 teams in contention as we went into this 16th round. British Columbia with a must-win game as they play Manitoba. And that's where we're going to focus our attention now, because they're playing the 10th, and it's 4-3, Manitoba leading, and it is British Columbia with last rock and that red stone. They have Manitoba now lying 1, top 8. So the draw would be there, I guess, Linda Ray, for the tie, but can you get the 2 for the win?
Well, that's what they're lining up now. Kelly Owen and Marla Geiger have had a good look at all the angles. I don't know, there's a lot of separation between the yellow or the red that shot rock, or I would have said that hitting the front red might have done it. That's Ray Moyer, their coach, coming out.
We just have normal weight, Mark. I think you're going to be fine. For normal, you're only going to push it like here. You go from one to the top. Yeah, but when it hits this, it's going to go this way. It'll just roll this way. Yeah, that's right there. Rock the one here. I think what happens here, if they hit it this, they'll skip this way. Yeah. Rock your one. Well, if we hit it then, the way we want to get rid of it, we're going to push here. Yeah. Right. Not if I'm quick. We actually rock
I think it's a tough shot then to get rid of the top one. The top red one.
The top red one was Connie's last rock, and they swept it enough that they didn't line up the red onto the yellow to make the angle good onto the back one.
They came around in here with that shot right there, and that, of course, took away any chance of raising that one onto that one to kill that one.
Well, it's been a remarkable turnaround for this BC team. As of Tuesday afternoon, heading into draw 10, they were 1-4, and now they sit at 6-4 and still in contention. They need to win this game, though, and this will be for the tie to force an extra end.
Well, with the free guard zone rule, it's just, you can steal a point. I mean, believe me, 2 years in a row, I can tell you that.
That's right.
2 years in a row. So, you know, I think this is the much better percentage shot for Marla to draw, take her one and go to the extra end and try and steal the victory. That's how I look at it.
And she'll need a piece of the 4 foot. Manitoba lying full 8. Final stone for the tie and an extra end, and a chance to play another day. Christine Jurgensen, part of the front end. Need 4 foot. They need 4 foot. There it is. Oh boy. Marla Geiger. As so British Columbia and Manitoba will go to an extra end 4-4, and Manitoba and Connie Laliberty will have last rock. As we return to our featured game, and that steal of 2 by Alberta has them in front of Ontario 6-5. Alison Goring with last rock.
We gotta get rid of some of these red rocks, girl.
Well, we've talked about the free guard zone being a way of generating offense, putting out guards and coming around them. That Yellowstone was played into the rings, and that nice almost freeze, the red rock in front of it, has set up this situation.
If we have to later.
And 2 stones played since then. And I think Alberta has to hit what is 3rd shot and try and get a bit of a roll in front of the other 2.
Deanne Shields, the Alberta second.
Pretty good shot. It's a chance though for Alison to come
Just
down.
board weight.
Board weight. Hit it on the.
Yeah.
Hit it on the nose almost. Just a little on the outside, center line side, I should say. She can lie too. The red rock will jam onto the yellow.
No!
She's got more weight than they asked for, I think.
It's close to center. It should move for her.
Whoa! Great shot.
It's a very nice shot. Now does Cathy make a decision here now and
Double air?
protect it?
Do that? A guard.
I think Marine should come down here, don't you, Linda?
This is the real point at the end where you make a decision.
Relay. Do this. Yep. Control.
No, I think the hit's not a bad shot here.
I like the hit better. I like it better than the guard.
Yes. The red stone in the middle is still grouped very closely to other rocks.
Peeking in at the game between Prince Edward Island and Newfoundland. Final stone coming up for PEI with last rock.
There's a hit and roll by Maureen Brown in the bottom left.
Very nice shot.
And the chance here for the win. Leading 7-6 Newfoundland. Lying 1. Back 8 foot. Rebecca Jean McPhee.
Got the extra weight, but will she tap it far enough?
And she does. For it appears 2, but certainly the win. Rebecca Jean McPhee, Prince Edward Island, in their final round robin game will finish at 8-3. Newfoundland will go home 5-6.
No! Shoot. Okay. Just too much weight.
Now we put up a guard or hit it.
A chance now to pick it out of there.
Normal.
Maureen Brown.
Whoa! Up! Up!
Looking for the pick. Just wanted to catch it on the outside. She's thrown a little more weight, I think, than maybe. Good shot. Maureen Brown has played very, very well in this game.
Christine Mccrady.
Line's good.
No line yet.
Yep. Whoa.
No line.
Whoa. No. Whoa.
No line. Whoa.
Nice shot.
Well, the only thing Cathy has to be careful here, of course, is to jam it back on the back one. So if she catches this anywhere just on the outside, she can...
Ontario.
Sorry, Vic keeps his end down to 1.
That's the one that would force an extra end. Yep. Ontario leading 6-5, or Alberta leading 6-5. Ontario with last drop.
No. This is the straight one. Okay, just throw control. You want to sit and roll in front, eh? Roll up front.
Yep. No. Yep. Whoa. 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 No. Whoa. 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 No. Whoa.
Great shot. Great shots by both Maureen Brown, Cathy Borst.
It's hard to get shot. No, but then it's harder to get out. If we're right here,
You're absolutely right, Alison.
see, she can pick that. We need to be. She can pick it on the outside and bang. That won't bang on that. But if we go here, I think we gotta try this one. Okay.
Right in there, exactly right. Just put her right in that situation right there. As long as you're beating out this stone here, then she's going to have to play it. And then this cart rock becomes very difficult to get out.
This is where we can jam, right?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but if we don't.
Yeah, we don't get shot.
Yeah. Okay, let's go then.
Well, she's going to go to the other one. I think that she could be shot rock by freezing to the outside one like she originally thought. But she's decided to come back in here like so. Put the rock right in here like this.
That back one there?
Very difficult to get this out. This one you have to make perfect or it could be picked.
Weld it. Still right up? Okay.
Weld it, she said.
She's playing the back one. She's going to have to weld it.
Line's good.
Whoa, no line yet.
Okay, bring it then. No line yet. No line yet. Okay, bring it. No line. Make sure.
Whoa. Whoa, close.
She's got lots of weight. It could be picked out. You put that rock on the other side, freeze it to the face of the other one like that, and you're really tough to get it out of there. This can be picked out, no problem. Hit it on the nose, and they'll both go.
Throw normal. More.
Even if we lose our shooter, that's good. Yeah.
That's right.
Can I wait, boss turn?
Nose or anywhere on the outside. Center out on the outside.
Be the final stone for Alberta. Ontario with last rock and needing one to tie.
Yes! Yep! Pull! Yep! Pull! Yep! Yep! Hard! Hurry hard! Hard, 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 hard! Quick! Katie, your way! Your way!
Good shot.
4 foot. She'll draw Alison Goring, and remember the last couple of draws she struggled with her weight.
Yeah, I really think she played the wrong freeze there, Vic. I think she has to freeze onto the top one because she could have been shot rock.
Just a tad less.
Not only that,
You
even
need a
if
piece of the 4.
you angle freeze on that front one like that, boy, it's very difficult to get it out of there.
Well, it would have probably jammed on that Yellowstone at the back of the 8 as well.
Well, you're going to hit the one,
Yep.
and then it's going to come back onto the other, you know.
Final stone to force an extra end. Ontario's Alison Goring needs 4 foot. Just a little less,
That's
she
a
said.
quicker rock, I think, so just watch it.
Well,
4 foot.
Looks good.
Piece of the 4.
4 foot looks good.
Piece of the 4. And we'll go to an extra end here in this 16th round. Piece of the 4. And there's some pressure curling by both teams. Piece of the button for Alison Goring. She found her draw weight when she needed it most. We're all even, 6-6, but Cathy Borst will have last rock in the extra end.
There are some things you can't put a price on. Fortunately, safety isn't one of them.
Hi, roadside assistance?
Cantel Amigo for $19.95 a month with no setup fees and no long-term commitment. Because if you had to put a price on safety, this is it. Cantel Amigo.
Snack attack, snack attack.
Looks like a job for Captain Nibbler.
Packs of 5, singles 2, McCain cheese nibblers, good for you. Zap that snack attack, everyone agrees. Nothing tastes quite like real cheese.
Your whole family will love the delicious, nutritious taste of McCain Cheese Nibblers, the satisfying snack that comes in all their favorite varieties.
Zap that snack attack, pick a pack today. McCain cheese nibblers, what do you say?
Zap that snack attack.
Face it, shaving is a pain. It strips away the skin's moisture, leaving it hot, dry, and burning. But now there's proof you can take the heat out of shaving. Introducing Sensitive from Old Spice. It's the one with cooling sensates, an invigorating blast of real refreshment that cools skin scorched by shaving. Prove it to yourself. Try new Sensitive from Old Spice. It's more than a great scent. This is a cooling blast of real refreshment that takes the heat out of shaving.
Some homes are big and some homes are small.
But with 900 dealer buying power,
you can afford any home.
Any home hardware.
This week, Beauty Tone Interior Exterior Alkyd Primer.
We buy big, you save big.
Ideal for wood or painted surfaces, only $18.99.
60,000 songs.
90,000 toasters.
900 dealer buying power.
With lots of friendly advice.
At your neighborhood home hardware.
Price, friendly advice at home hardware.
Welcome back to the Max Bell Center as we are in extra ends of 2 games here in this 16th round of the Scott Tournament of Hearts. And before Ontario, Alberta resume, let's go to the game between Manitoba, British Columbia, playing an extra end. 4-4 the score. Manitoba with last rock. This the first skip Connie Laliberty, removing the BC centerline guard. And British Columbia must win this game. It is must win, without a doubt. They sit at 4 losses, and 4 is all you can afford.
Well, they got the front rock up. BC got the front rock up, and they got one behind. Of course, with the 3 guard zone rule, they couldn't run it off. But Cathy Overton made an absolutely sensational double to clear the front. And that's the danger of putting 2 guards up in front, of course, and that's what happened. Overton came up with a big shot, cleared the front. So the situation is a little desperate for BC at this point.
So Marla Geiger, with that one wide corner, is that where she tries to tuck it behind?
I guess so, Vic. It's the only thing she's got to hide behind. Trying to make Connie draw. tuck it in behind this corner. You'll be in the 12-foot and force Alberta to have to draw the 8-foot to win. It's got good line.
Kelly Owen there jumps out now to help as well. Sherry Fraser is there. Christine Jurgensen. And now it will be full 8-foot for the win. And the end of the line for BC if Alberta can put it there.
The best she could do, Marla Geiger. They've really stormed back. They've put together a series of great games after getting off to such a bad start.
Manitoba sitting on top of the standings coming into this draw at 8-1. Cathy Gauthier closest to the stone. Janet Arnott, the front end of this team from the Fort Rouge Curling Club. They lost in last year's final in Kitchener-Waterloo. They need to get 8-foot. And there it is for the win. Manitoba will win 5-4 and end the hopes of British Columbia and Marla Geiger. British Columbia will finish at 6-5 and Manitoba now 9-1. Alberta looking like she will be first place at this year's Scott Tournament of Hearts and all guaranteed a spot in the Final Four, or at least a tiebreaker, is Prince Edward Island and their sensational skip, Rebecca Jean McPhee, and she's with Linda.
Rebecca Jean, we've been so impressed with your play. It's now time to relax a little bit. A great record. How does it feel?
It's just wonderful. We wanted to finish in the middle of the pack, and right now we're close to the top.
Well, even in this game, we were so impressed. You look so cool out there. You go to play those important shots. What are you thinking about? How do you block out all those pressures?
You've got to play it end by end and each shot by shot, and we wanted to play it that way, and if you make your shot, fine, but if not, there's another end to go. Just stay together.
So it was a big day for you. You had two tremendous games, including this morning against Team Canada. You're really playing so well. What's the key?
I think it's our teamwork. We're really getting along well on and off the ice, and we're playing together and not getting down on each other.
Well, have a great evening, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
It's a terrific story, Rebecca Jean McPhee. One more game in the next round when we come back.
You know, an apple sitting around too long, it goes bad. It's the same thing with a new battery. It loses power waiting to be bought. That's why at Interstate, we're constantly checking our batteries to make sure they're fresh, so that you don't end up with a bad apple.
Introducing Ford Contour, a world car for the 21st century. The advanced quadrelink rear suspension. It was designed to allow rear wheels to adjust in sync with the front, giving Contour precise control in cornering and braking. Then it was put through over 3 million kilometers of rigorous testing just to make sure. The totally new Ford Contour, well-equipped GL for just $17,795.
Now, from the Purex pillow people at Scott Paper, new noticeably softer Purex bathroom tissue. You'll see and feel the difference in every two-ply sheet. It's so much softer, so much smoother. Pillowy soft, regular, and jumbo Purex. Now, noticeably softer.
As the thermometer drops, dangerous crystals can form in your car's engine, threatening to shorten its life. That's why today's Quaker State has engineered intelligent oil. Oil that senses the changing threats in your engine and adapts its own molecular structure for continuous protection. Whenever the driving conditions change, so does Quaker State, the intelligent oil for longer engine life.
Where's our Metamucil Smooth?
This is about 10 cents cheaper a glass.
Doesn't look smooth. It's not even orange.
Metamucil Smooth pours easily through this strainer. Ordinary fiber is too gritty, and the difference is only about 10 cents a glass. Metamucil Smooth. Good taste, good value.
The 1995 Scott Tournament of Hearts from Calgary, Alberta. Brought to you by Scott Paper. We care about the same things you do.
Just one game remains here in this 16th round of the Scott Tournament of Hearts, and we've gone to an extra end. Maureen Brown. And the first of her third stones, Alberta with last rock as we play this extra end of a 6-6 tie.
Good peel. Just to go back on this end for you, Alison Goring put the first one on the center line, obviously, because she has to steal this, and we saw the pick. That's the rock that was just moved to the
Same thing.
To the edge, just off the center line.
I think that's the first one we've seen,
Yeah,
is it, Ray?
this year, yeah.
They try that to move the rock out of its dangerous center line position, and it's a tough one to make.
We've seen them try it a couple times and then come back.
That's mine.
Just to explain it a little bit, the pick is
okay.
the pick is that you do the rock that you're hitting, those first three
That's
stones.
mine, Di.
It's just moved and
No, not that one.
removed from play. Just moved over, and that's the rock sitting on the side now.
I don't know what happened. Same weight.
Christine Mccrady.
Another front stone out in front on the center line.
Whoa! I think it's got lots. Whoa! A little bit. Yep. Yep. Nice shot. Nice weight.
A reminder to stay with us right after our coverage of the 16th round of the Scott Tournament of Hearts. Jim Van Horn will bring you Sports Desk.
Normal weight.
Maureen Brown. So Manitoba with their win go to 9-1. Either Ontario or Alberta will go to 8-2. Prince Edward Island is at 8-3. And British Columbia with their loss are eliminated. So now just 5 teams in contention for this year's Scott Tournament of Hearts. First of the skip stones. Ontario's Alison Goring.
Another guard.
Right up.
Yeah,
Right up.
Right to here. Come on, stay with it. Stay with it.
Further.
Right up. Right up.
Come on,
Stay
right
with
up,
it.
right up.
Stay with it. Right up.
Right up.
All the way. All the way. All the way.
Keeping.
Yeah, that's mine. Here's yours.
Here.
Okay.
Let's remember now, we are opponents. We're not supposed to share grippers.
Cathy Borst looking for the peel. And then Alison will have to go around the stone that just covers the 8-foot. Saw Connie Lalaverty draw to the 8-foot for her win. Cathy Overton made a great double kill on 2 rocks out in front. And in this game we saw the pick, which set up this situation we have right now. In-turn peel, Cathy Borst. Threw a big weight.
Try.
She's got it.
Yeah, no problem. So there's one guard left for Alison to come around.
Coming up tonight, 2 key games. Alberta against Saskatchewan. Alberta, depending on this game, if they win it, well, then they're pretty well through. If Canada should lose it and fall to 3 losses, well, then they'll play Team Canada with 3 losses. The loser tonight would be out. 4 won't get you anything. We'll have it for you 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right after the NHL tonight. Final round robin draw from here in Calgary.
It's ton of room.
Draw to the 8-foot.
Yes, for line.
Final stone, Alison Goring. Alberta with last rock.
Line's green.
Lots of room.
Yep.
Lots of room. Make
Yeah.
sure it's here, though. Come on, read back, read back, read back. Borst will go. Borst will go. Come on, read up, read up. Come on, read back, read back, read back. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
Key line edge of the 4. Wanted it over a little bit more, right?
Yeah, it's wide open. You can see it all. It's a hit for the win. Hit and stick, of course. You have to keep that shooter in the rings. She thought it would curl a little bit more. Weight was perfect. She moved it over a foot, and then it's going to be buried. And I think you'd find that Cathy Borst would just draw. But
Still have to control yourself here. We've seen this sheet go so straight when you up the weight. She has to throw that controlled takeout weight with this last one.
I burped.
Both these teams 7-2 coming in. Cathy Borst.
Clean. Yep. Clean only. Yep. Clean. Whoa. Clean. Whoa. Clean.
pretty good. She threw it lovely.
And there it is for the win. She's through to the Final Four. Alberta wins it in an extra end over Ontario.
You don't choose to have an accident, but you can choose your repair center. More than 1 million Canadians have relied on AutoPro, the largest network of automotive professionals. AutoPro Collision, a courteous reception, professional repairs, qualified technicians, specialized equipment, and in addition to AutoPro's national warranty, take advantage of our deductible protection plan. AutoPro Collision, people you can trust.
Oh, my dream. I see myself sitting beside a big York stone fireplace. Have a place close to the seashore where we could sit and watch the sunset with a glass of wine.
CIBC Personal Vision Financial Security. To see how we can help secure your financial future with the right retirement plan, see your CIBC personal banker.
The way I see it, my retirement is going to be great.
At CIBC, we're working to see what you see.
Now it's time for the TSN Turning Point, brought to you by Interstate Batteries, and it comes out of the featured game, Ontario and Alberta.
Well, you could actually pick a couple shots in this particular end because the lead, Horn made a pick, which set up this situation right here, but your turning point, you got to hit and stick on this. You can't afford to roll out or you're into another extra end, and she made no mistake, absolutely laid it perfectly. There's your single, and that's a victory.
7-6, and they're through to the Final Four. A cash donation will be made to the Coaching Association of Canada for the training and development of coaches in amateur sport on behalf of TSN and Interstate. Fresh power guaranteed. We'll be back with you for the 17th and final round robin draw at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll feature Ontario against Team Canada, both sitting at 3 losses. My goodness, the loser will be out. Can you imagine that? On behalf of Linda, Ray, and our entire crew, I'm Vic Roeder. Thanks for joining us. Talk to you at 10:30.